what do we got going on now? We're going to play some more standard because that's what we do around here. But we're going to try playing a bunch of other Aetherdrift cards because I realize a bunch of decks I'm putting together are kind of like old themes or things that have already existed, but we're kind of sprucing them up with some Aetherdrift stuff. So we're going to give everybody a couple of minutes to hop in here and then we'll get fired off and running. But yeah, this should be a good stream day. This should be fun. I have what am I looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible decks to play. So we have a variety of stuff. It'll be good. Funny, I just realized only one of these has blue cards in it, but every other card is every other color is represented. Yeah, this is like I don't know our third stream in like what 4 days or 5 days maybe I don't know. Plus the two we did for the early access stuff or streamer event stuff. So I don't know 5 streams in the last week. That's kind of crazy for y'all. Like that's y'all gonna get spoiled doing all these streams all the time. But let me see what we got. Let me flip over to the other screen here. Do we have the overlays up? We do. All right. So I'll be able to hear when people pop in and out here. Yeah, and I know these are kind of just like random streams, I guess, but I'm trying to fit them in around working on other stuff. Today, part of the issue, I say issue, one of the things I was doing was I was putting together a package of stuff so I can be part of the giveaway so we could offer some nice stuff to a winner for Tellurian Community College. They're doing a fundraiser for Trans Lifeline, and I wanted to make sure I had some stuff I could throw in there to help them raise some more money. So I dug up some really cool stuff. I have some collector's boosters, dragon shields, a playmat from Ultra Pro, and the Secret Lair Black as Magic foil edition. So yeah, we'll be giving those away to somebody. One big package that will go out. So I got to take a picture of that when the stream's done so I can tell everybody about it. And yeah, if you follow me on socials, it'll be all good. And you'll know when it goes up. Can we gonna try out repurposing bay this stream? Nope, there is no repurposing bay decks here. Like, here's the problem. For me, there's nothing to try out with repurposing bay. We all know kind of what it does. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like, if you're playing the synthesizer deck, that's probably going to be the best home for it, right? If artifacts come into play, you get a bonus thing, you get the thing you search for. That's probably where it's going to belong. I mean, I've seen some people trying to play it with like the junky 1 mana dude that like you tap and he makes 2 colorless for activated abilities or whatever. Like that's probably the best home for that card. But otherwise, yeah, it's kind of what it does. And it doesn't make for good videos, unfortunately. Not to say I won't do it eventually, because I probably will, because, you know, we try to cover a lot of different decks. But those type of videos don't generally draw the highest views, because every game is kind of like, did you stick your synthesizer? Did the repurposing bay do its thing? If the answer is yes, you probably won. If the answer is no, you probably lost. You know what I mean? So it's like, people don't enjoy watching those as much because they just don't. It's like the same folks ask, why don't I do more control decks on the channel? And the reality is control decks are like the worst viewed things on the channel, mostly because the view duration is very low, right? Your goal for a lot of my videos, the goal is to have people watch at least 30% of the video. So that's roughly like 12 to 15 minutes average, right? Depending on how long the video is. Sometimes it's only 10 or 11 minutes. But when you do control style decks, a lot of times people just kind of skip around, fast forward, whatever. They watch one game and they're done. Like even a long game, they kind of go like, let me skip ahead. Because like nothing happens during those games. It's like counter, sweep the board, kill a creature, make an enchantment, maybe make a planeswalker. Game's over or it's not, right? Not that that's not a good way to play Magic and that's not a valid way to play Magic, because it is. It just doesn't make for good content, unfortunately. So I don't do as many as those because generally, like I said, the views duration isn't great. And on top of that, the cards you include generally aren't interesting. They kind of do the same thing as the other cards in the deck. It's either like draw cards, kill things, play a planeswalker, right? A lot of the times. So people aren't generally looking at the videos to find like a card they like or that's different that they want to include into a deck. So it ends up being a deal as well. I don't even think Control's fun to play, personally. I mean, I think it's okay if people think it's fun to play. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I mean, it's there for a reason. Play with it. But nothing happens for a lot. Like, even when I'm making the content, half the time I end up talking about other stuff or whatever because, like, nothing's going on during the game. We're just like, okay, well, we're going to counter a thing. If it's this thing, then we'll just sweep the board. If not, I'll play the Planeswalker. That's the analyst, right? Like, there's nothing else, or analysis. There's nothing else to say about it, right? There's no interesting interaction. There's no, like, tough choices to be made. You either get your cards or you didn't, and then they run you over. So that's kind of the issue there. So I don't hate it. I just think it's for content. It's not particularly great. Alex says, I made a mount green white counters deck and it's been working well for me. That's cool, honestly. I think there's still a lot of unexplored stuff. I think you can still play a ton of stuff on the ladder right now. Even the videos we put up so far, we've done a few different things that have all been pretty neat. So don't have a problem with any of that. Now, one of the things is, kind of went into the lab after the last stream. You'd love to see a Sidvara. Like, technically, we played Sidvara in a deck the other day. The Simic Counters list, right? We had Sidvara in that. Did she make the final cut? Yeah, there's still one left in the deck. So, yeah, even in the version 3. So, still there. Already there. Yeah, so the Elves deck. We went into it. Have an aggressive Jeskai Oculus deck. Very crazy how it plays. I imagine it plays like the other one plays, which isn't bad. That was one of the more consistent decks from the previous season. Yeah, so I went in and started thinking about what if we added white for Collector's Cage. Mostly because we know Collector's Cage already works with March of the World Ooze. And then we still get the benefit of being able to just sometimes get a Voja, right? That was so much better and feels more consistent than trying to play Genesis Wave or just hardcast the World Ooze or whatever. Because now we don't need to wait till we get to 6 mana. Sometimes you can do it on 3 mana or 4 mana. So I thought this could be a reasonable plan that we could try to go with. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it's a plan, you know, and sometimes you got to start there. The lands are a little weird because you do have Sentinel Stalwart and Loam Speaker in here, so you don't need a ton of off-color stuff. So just playing some Hushwood Verge, the 1 Plains and 3 Fable, and since you only have this card that technically needs white, but you can also use a Cavern and just put it on Wolf, you really only need white for this card. So I didn't want to mess up the mana too much, because obviously you still want to be able to play like Llanowar Elf on 1, Sentinel Stalwart on 2. Doesn't World Ooze not play well with the cage because of the 6/6 part? What part doesn't play well with it? Your creatures have base power and toughness 6/6. That plays perfectly. Like, we've done it in another deck already on the channel, and it was fantastic. Why would this not work? Like, your elves are now all 6/6s. And then you can start putting counters on them still. Like, which part do you think not work? Do you think doesn't work? Wow, that was an ugly sentence. Like, which part of this interaction do you think doesn't work? Just so I can explain and clarify. Because, like, I'm confused on what you think doesn't work in this interaction. Hey, Davey J. Good to see you. Cage need different powers to do a thing. I don't think you understand. We're getting the World Ooze from the cage. Like, that's the idea. Like, if we're worried about us having 3 6/6s, we're probably winning the game. We don't really care if we're getting another free thing off the cage at that point. You know what I mean? Like, and even then, you can still put counters on things and be okay. So, let's say you already had the World Ooze. You get some elf. If you get, say, Leaf Crown Visionary then pumps other things anyway and doesn't pump itself. So you already have 2 things of different power. So then if you just put a counter on one of the things that Leaf Crown Visionary is pumping, you now automatically have 3 things that have different powers as well. So it's not even that hard to get different power and toughness even after the World Ooze is out. It's actually pretty easy. Yeah, the cage is no problem. The cage is actually the enabler to get the World Ooze. Because there's a lot of scenarios where you go like, turn 1, Stalwart or Llanowar Elf. Turn 2, any of these Knuckleheads. Turn 3, play a turn 2 thing. If you played a mana creature previously, then you just play cage, put a counter, and go off. Right? That's a way to do it. Or you play like Dwynen's Elite, and then you play like Leafcrown Visionary, Collector's Cage, put a counter on something. Same thing. So there's a lot of ways to trigger the cage in here. It's actually, honestly, Collector Cage allows a lot of silliness to happen. But yeah, maybe we do that. Maybe we just do some oozing elves to start with. And see what we could pull off here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. Let's make elves the first thing we're going to run today. Now, don't get me wrong. I think we're still going to be at the mercy of like the heavy removal decks or whatever. That's just the nature of playing elves, and you just got to eat it. You know, that's the cost of doing business. But otherwise, it's fine. I will say one of the things that sucks for Voja is because now we have the stupid nowhere to run that can just get rid of wards. It's like, whatever. But even that aside, it's probably still worth doing. All right. Let's fire this up. We'll make this a full-on video. Or as Uncle Roger would say, a Ouija. All right. Y2K, how's it going? All right. What's up, Dragon Brood? We have elves. Naya elves, sort of. This is really just, if you want to call it mono green elves with a little seasoning, or maybe even just, I don't know, Selesnya elves with a little extra spice. But we're going to be doing a lot of stuff here and still playing elves. So the cool part about this deck is we can actually just run down the opponent with elves, or we can get a little tricky with our big cards. But let's talk about it. So we've got Sentinel Stalwart. Nothing too crazy, but I wanted an extra 1-drop in here, and it does help with our mana a little bit because we do have some off-color stuff in here. Llanowar Elf, of course, because you're playing elves, you need mana. Why would you not play this? But Collector's Cage is the card because this can let us play our couple of big cards basically for 1 mana. And it shouldn't be that hard to get 3 different power or toughness or power in this deck, so we should be able to pull this off. Dwynen's Elite, not the most spectacular card for this deck. However, the fact that it gives us 2 bodies can be important when you're talking about something like Collector's Cage. It makes it easy to have that third thing to put a counter on. And it gives you a little bit of defense against those cards that are making you sacrifice a creature or whatever, so you can keep some board presence. Leafcrown Visionary just pumps your team, lets you get a card. Nothing too crazy there. Llanowar Loam Speaker, kind of necessary here because we are playing these off-color cards and we don't want to make our mana too junky since we have so many green things we need to cast. So this is going to play a pretty important role. Elvish Archdruid. We don't really need all the mana here. It's mostly just pumping, but every once in a while, there's going to be some times where we want to hard cast our big cards, and this is going to help. Imperious Perfect, another way to get us some extra bodies, which can help with Collector's Cage stuff, which is pretty good. To the point that I might even at some point change an Archdruid for Imperious Perfect and just go 3-4 instead of 4-3. But our 2 big cards we're going to be aiming for are Voja, Jaws of the Conclave. It's a way to get extra cards. It pumps up all of our elves. So we like all the stuff this is doing. But we do have a little bit of tough time casting it since it has white and green in it, which is why we need all those other things making multiple colors of mana. And March of the World Ooze, which we can hardcast sometimes, but even better, we can get it for free under a Collector's Cage. We had another video where we had that as like a pseudo combo in it, and it was fantastic. So hopefully we get to see more of that today. With lands, we're not doing anything crazy. We are playing some Hushwood Verge, Cavern of Souls, and a couple of Fable passages to go get the 1 plains or mountain as we need it. And that should make it to where we can cast everything without too much trouble, but we'll see. But y'all know the drill. As always, we're going to have a link over to Moxfield if you want to download this and update your elf deck. But also, if you want to help us afford an editor, go and support our sponsor over at Tales of Adventure. You can use my code DRAGON, D-R-A-G-N. You can save tons of money, and you can outfit your commander decks and stuff. So go do that. But let's go see if oozing elves is better than regular elves. Finally catching a stream from the beginning. Oh, well, hey, welcome. I mean, the streams are all saved as VODs, so you can basically just watch them all. it's like the same thing. So that's the beauty of having it on YouTube, that you can always just go rewatch them. Hey, Larry Mitchell. Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to work, so let's find out. We have to go second here, and we only have a passage and a ladder world. Ugh. I'm going to gamble, but if we don't draw an untapped land, it's going to be pretty bad, I think. Yeah, because this land of Elf isn't going to live. Like, I'm going to be stunned if this makes it past turn 2. Hey, it did, though. All right, that's good. Here's what's funny. Even if they don't take the Leaf Crown Visionary... Oh, they took that. Okay. I might just play Dwynen's Elite here. And then I'll just play the Fable Passage and pass. I think that's smarter. Give us a little more defense, a couple more bodies. They'll probably play the Room here. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we are going to be on the clock, but if we can stick a March of the Worldoos, that could be pretty damn good for us. All right, so this I'm going to go get white in case we find another Collector's Cage. But we're not far from being able to stick a Worldoos, which is kind of amusing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5. We're going to take us at least 2 turns to get to a Worldoos. So I think we just go here to be mana efficient, realistically. And then just attack. Just like put the pressure on them. I mean, Shielded or something probably drops here, but, you know, we do what we got to do. All right, feed the Swarm. That tracks. They do go to 9. They're probably going to kill something else here. At some point, I was going to say you might kill the Elf, knowing that we have March of the Worldoos, but they're not, actually. All right, they go to 10. They go to 8. They will be... Oh, that's one of the cards we did not want to draw here. Gosh dang it. Alright, I'm assuming they'll play a land, make a demon, so they don't die to their land. Oh, they have a Shieldred. Well, they don't die that way either, so that makes sense. Come on, untap land. Let's go. Come on, be there. Ah, dang it. If that was an untapped land, we'd have been gold. We'd have just won. Alright, I mean, we got a Collector's Cage. That's not nothing. Alright, damn, we needed an untapped land bad. Oh, that sucks. Come on. If it's still there, it's still great if it's there right now. Come on. There we go. That's huge. Now we just play this and then attack with a pile of monsters. Because, like, they have to block. Just blocking 1 isn't good enough. You have to block 2. And we only lose 1. So we're either losing the Imperious Perfect or we're losing the Visionary. Okay, that's fine. Alright. And we have Collector's Cage. Alright, we're going to take 4, 5, 6, so we go to 2. Yeah, cut down's not good enough, so they have to use... Actually, they can't even attack with the bat here, right? Oh, what? They just... Okay, alright, awesome. Okay, that's not how that's supposed to work. But we can hardcast March of the Worldoos, and it's alright. So don't mind that. Okay. Probably doesn't matter, but we stay in at 61 cards main deck. That's not an accident. That's greed. Yeah, we're gonna... I mean... I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I don't think this is bad enough to throw away. No! You're not supposed to duress me there. That sucks. I mean, there's only one thing to take. Yeah, I mean, like, you just go ahead and take it. Alright, we kind of have to sit on this cavern because we might need to put it on Wolf. And I think we're just going to lose a parade of creatures here for a couple of turns. All right. And then Liliana cost us an Imperious Perfect. No, there's a Lord Skitter. That's a card we don't see too often these days. Interesting. All right, you're not terrible. I guess I want to put this on Wolf in case we draw a land. And then I'm going to tap this for colorless because Arena's often going to mess that up. And then I'm just going to pass here. Because we can still tap and make a 3/3 technically, but I assume they have a way to kill one of these dudes. Bandit's talent. Alright, well, there goes March of the World Dues. Because, you know, why not? Oh, and they had Hopeless Nightmare anyway. Alright, you got it. Well, not much we were going to do about that. Alright, well, I mean, if they're not going to do anything, we at least get to attack with 3/3s. So it's all good. And if we find another Elf Lord... Oh, they're just going to run that in? They must have another one. I mean, we're still going to block them anyway, though. Unless maybe they forgot we could make a token, and they were just testing us. Which, you know, always possible. But I'm going to attack for 4. We're going to sit back, make another token next turn. And then hopefully that puts us in a position that we can start pushing through for a lethal. They still have 3 cards, though. And they didn't crack their Hopeless Nightmare. So there's no telling what's about to happen. Oh, we're going to sack a creature for something? Oh, it's just shielded. I say just shielded. But it is kind of sweet when you're playing a deck where you say, whatever, it's a shielded. Alright, let's find something good. If we can pump our team again, we'll just punch all these through a shielded, I guess. I was going to say, or if we'd have found another March of the World Dues, that would have been pretty special. Put that on Elf. So if we attack here, we're only getting in for 11. That's not going to be good enough. Alright. We needed another Elf Lord there. I think that was the only way we were getting out of that one. Now they're at 18, so we definitely need something big here. But again, another March of the World Dues could be pretty nice. Drawing with our Visionary is a bit risky under the circumstances. I mean, if they attack with Shieldred, I guess we'll, like, make a token double block. Probably our best bet. Oh, a Rottenmouth Viper. Jeez. Okay, well. Clock's ticking. We need to draw not lands at this point. I guess we just... I mean, we take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'd be at 4. So we would have to top deck our answer to win, right? They're at 18. Let me think about this. They block. Yeah, we wouldn't be able to kill them because that'd only be 15 with 5 power things. All right, I guess I kind of have to sack this. It's tough, but I think that's still the right answer. Oh, and they had another Hopeless Night. All right. Well, they drew very well where we got stuck drawing mana, so kind of just going to be the end result here. I mean, I'd say that. I mean, if we get a March, or actually, I guess a March, a Wolf, even a Cage, any of those are probably good here. That is not it. Yeah, so we're just dead. All right, GG's. We drew pretty badly there toward the end. Green has removal. We're just choosing not to play it. Like, that's not the game we're playing here. We're going all gas, no brakes. That's the whole idea. And to be fair, we had like, I don't know, 10 or 12 quality top decks there at the end. We just didn't draw one. It's like, we can't be that bothered by it. Yeah, let's keep it. I mean, double World Ooze is not great, but, you know, it is what it is. You're going to bounce my Llanowar Elf? Shame on you. Not that I blame you, though. That's a good play. Alright, let's see if you're stopping this guy. Probably are. This looks like a deck that's playing a lot of counters. Which I kind of don't mind if they're countering that instead of, like, all this other stuff. Because if we get to a March, then cool, I guess. What is this guy doing in here? Oh. Huh. Not gonna lie. Wouldn't have predicted that. That's weird. Alright, I guess we just play this here, since we can safely get it down. Oh, it's a synthesizer deck. Definitely didn't have that on my bingo card. That's something. Well, if you attack, I'm not blocking. I'm just letting you know. That wasn't going to happen. Ooh, we are so close. I mean, we could do it next turn, and we get 2 shots at it, even if they have a counter. So I don't mind that. So we could go here. And then if I generate 2, I could play, pay, play, pay. So I like that. And we'll draw. Don't need the extra land, but I guess it helps. Alright, that works. Oh, we're in good shape here now. Unless they have a land to counter. Oh, they're going to bounce this guy? Oh, don't even matter, friend. We got what we wanted. We got what we needed. Here we go. 13. All right, love it. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to end up with at least like 3 golems here or more. Nope, that gets you 1. Yeah, we're in pretty good shape, I imagine, here. I mean, I say that. That makes 3 next turn, so, like, we do kind of have to add a lot to the board here to punch through. So we have 5 mana. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4 bodies is probably the best use of our mana. So, yeah, let's go ahead and attack. Actually, yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We just need more bodies than they'll be able to produce on their turn, really. Yeah, I think we're good. Probably even just playing the Dwynen's Elite is probably okay here. Oh, that's a nice bonus. Yeah, I don't think they have anything they're going to do. I'm just going to roll on here. Alright. I mean, I guess they could have Aetherize and return some stuff to our hand or whatever, but that'd be it. Yeah, it feels good when you got them with double synthesizer and you don't even care. Oh, and we get to go extra. You know what's wild? Opponent had 4 10-10s, and it wasn't even going to be close to big enough. Like, we just get to attack through and not even have to care. That's just crazy. I mean, I guess also we could have just played this and these all would have been 8/8s plus. So, I mean, there's that. But it doesn't really matter. They had 5 blockers and we had a pile of attackers. So, yeah, Dwynen's Elite was actually the right card there. Found my channel through Dev. Well, welcome, kind buds. Good to see you. Anybody who's a good person is welcome here. So if you're from Dev's camp, I assume you're good company. Ghost, how's it going? Patton 1, thank you for that. Welcome. We get to go first. Yes, we will keep this. This is quite excellent. Do we go Archdruid here? Or do we, like, try to bait? Let's go with this first. And see if we can bait out removal for the Visionary. Because I would like to Archdruid into March or Archdruid into Voja if possible. Yeah, I assume there'd be at least one removal there. So that doesn't surprise us. Alright, so if we put this on Elf. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Because I can go get the mountain with the Fable Passage. And then we just play this and attack. Problem is, they already have nowhere to run, so we don't get the ward option on Voja, which is unfortunate. It would be awesome if you let us untap with the Archdruid opponent, but I don't think you will for some reason. Yeah. I didn't assume they would. We're a bit smarter than that. Alright. So do we go ahead with Voja here? I feel like that's what we're supposed to do. And then just kind of let the opponent do whatever they're going to do. Obviously, again, Ward doesn't do anything with nowhere to run out. So if they're playing just piles of removal, one's going to be aimed there. Nope, it was a Preacher. Okay. So now we kind of get opportunity. If we Leaf Crown Visionary, they will get pumped, and we possibly get a card we could do something with. We could do this, just turns Voja into a 6/6, still going to die to the Preacher. So I think we do this and see if we can get some extra future value. I think is the right play here. Are there odds that they would block the Llanowar Elf instead? Like, maybe? But I don't think so. I think they just want to kill Voja. Voja does trample, though. So there is that. We didn't get another elf, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping. But that didn't work out that way. Yeah, Nowhere to Run has a lot of words that matter. Oh, no, man. All right, cool. That sucks. Such good timing on that card. That's so brutal. Yep. All right, you got me. All right. I mean, at least they're empty-handed, so maybe we can get them in 2 turns. In the turn. I mean, they're at 5. Like, maybe it could happen. Duress? Oh, we're good. We're good, folks. Hell yeah. Getting wins against Mono Black? Love that. Oh, and we got bonus action. Not that it matters. We wouldn't hit one of our things anyway. All right. Cool. I mean, this feels pretty good, right? Like, they killed 3 creatures, killed another one with Death Touch, made us discard cards, and we still won. I can't be too mad about that, you know? Like, randomly, I mean, are elves real? Like, is this a thing? Because these games have been a little bit crazy. I don't know if they're real, but they feel real. It also, I think against Mono Red, too, it would depend on how many removal they draw early. On what the outcome looks like, too. Oh, gosh. We're going to mulligan this. This is only marginally better. Whew. Okay. I mean, I guess we keep it. Here's what I'm thinking, right? If we put back Imperious Perfect, there is a world where we could go like turn 1 Stalwart, turn 2 Elite, tap Elite and Stalwart to play the other Stalwart, but I don't know if that's good enough. So I'm just going to do this. And we'll just maybe draw Llanowar Elf or something. Against an unknown opponent, I think this is a safer keep. Oh, we did draw Llanowar Elf. Check that out. That was something. Alright, and then we'll tap, get a green, tap this Knucklehead, play this. Sounds good. Alright, cool. Oh, they're playing counters. All right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana only. That's unfortunate. I guess we do this just in case we draw a relevant thing. Yeah, we're attacking with everything. I would trade any of those for that 2/2. So sure. So Ooze is awesome here. Voja is awesome here. Like, we have a lot of winners, basically. Not that, though. That wasn't one of those winners. Yeah, we'll just put this on... I'm going to put this on Wolf, because I don't need it to be on Elf here, just in case something goes weird. But yeah, we're just going to tag with everybody. Yep, okay, cool. We got it. Brian says, just because it's pertinent to the current deck you're playing, I use your original DST. I think you mean DFT, maybe? Ooze deck and into the top 500. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Like, that deck's just good. Like, honestly, Collector's Cage is a hell of a Magic card, y'all. I think people sleep on that card. Four Wizard Skill says, glad to catch you live. Well, good to have you here. Trying to make a new Celestia or Bant artifact deck around Wormlet and all the new artifacts. We have one of those that we may be playing soon. Triple Leaf Crown Visionary and March of the Worldoos. That's probably not a good start. This is a little bit better. All right. That is multiple Dwynen's Elites. Wait, let's try another 1 mana thing here. Let's try that. Get it. Oh, you're just gonna kill my Stalwart just because? Wow, feed the Swarm on that guy. You really are hating. I don't think I've ever had a Stalwart die to like a real significant removal spell like that. That's something.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadow.
Yeah, that's fine. That goes away.
Sacrifices must be made.
Sadly, this has to probably still be on Elf, I think, for the time being. I'll go ahead and just play one of these, see what happens. We got a pretty ugly draw here, so opponent should win this one, I think. Slasher, make us discard. Probably just be Voja here, because why would it be anything else? Though, if we were to find an untapped land... Nope, we didn't do it. I was going to say, if we were, we could play Leaf Crown Visionary and the Dwynen's Elite. Would have been awesome, but no such luck. Super disappointing. Now, this is tough because if they have a removal and I go to block with the Dwynen's Elite, like, I lose both creatures and I basically lose nothing. This actually is fine. I don't mind that. We each discard a card. I guess it has to be you? Of course, now I'll draw like the forest, but same difference. Yeah, I guess we just play it. I was trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to do there, but not really. I could have drawn a card, maybe, that could have mattered, but that would have been it. Yeah, we're just going to pass. I think the opponent's got this one, unfortunately, unless we just top deck something, but I don't even know what something would be at this point. I feel like it would almost have to be like small elf where we get another card and can play it, but don't even know if that's enough here. Hey, thanks for that. Sacrifice a creature. Sure, we'll get rid of this thing.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
I mean, just attack and put me out of my misery here. What are we doing? I was gonna say, attack with something. Like, don't just let me sit here. I mean, I guess they're really trying to protect Liliana or something. I don't know. But our life total should definitely be lower than it is right now. You know what? That's something. Do it. We'll draw a card, take a point. It's fine. Okay. All right. Maybe. Well, no, they're going to make us discard for sure. We're not going to get to hold this. That actually doesn't do anything. I guess we just attack with Dwynen's Elite. I mean, we know what's going to happen, but that's fine. We'll block with a Slasher here. That's okay. I mean, we'll just draw another cage, right? That's the game plan. Let's have them back to back. Oh, second Bloodletter. That's unfortunate. I mean, you just attack, opponent. Like, Liliana's not that important right now. Wait, they didn't even use the Liliana? Oh, so they really want that card that's in their hand. All right, this kind of has to be it. If this isn't something great. Oh, this won't even work right now, though. Because I actually drew 2 Leaf Crown Visionaries. I didn't get any other... Actually, damn. Because if I make a 1, it's going to be a 3 anyway, isn't it? I mean, we still have to play it. So I don't think that's really an option. Well, unfortunately, it wasn't anything great anyway. Alright, well, that sucked. I guess we just play this. And then... no attack? And we'll just see what happens. Alright. Annex, sure. I don't know why you didn't just make the demon there at that point. Like, just come over the top and kill us. I feel like they're just, like, playing with their food right now. Yeah, like, what are we doing? like, I drew so badly there. I'm just like, what's going on? No, Slasher's fine. It's not that crazy of a card. The problem really... if there's a problem I have with black right now, it's games like that, where black doesn't really have to interact, right? Because you have, like, 7 cards now, I think, that do some combination of lose life, gain life, half your life, you know, and you can combo out or whatever. So, like, that's the bigger issue. And while I don't mind it that much, it is disappointing if you're, like, a new player or something and you just randomly lose. Like, that's such a bad experience. So, like, the Half-Life lose life thing, I'm not a fan of in black right now. Like, if you just kept black, like, the discard color or the graveyard color or whatever, like, I don't have a problem with that. I think that's reasonable. But the other stuff, I don't know why that was a decision that was made. And again, I don't... even if you're going to have that decision, if it's on, like, 2/2s or 1/1s or maybe even, like, 1/2s or 2/1s with flying or something, like, yeah, no big deal. But when they're on actual, like, oh, this has Death Touch, this is a 2/4 flyer, this is a 4/3, blah, blah, like... then it gets kind of like, okay, why are we doing this, you know? We're going to take our March of the World dues? Would be disappointing if the opponent had that, but Collector's Cage is actually scarier. Because if they can use the cage, oh boy. But they're also analyzing, right? Now that you let us draw the Stalwart, we could... okay, they took that. I was going to say, because we could do this into the other Stalwart now. And have mana set up to do something fun next turn. Could we... if we played Imperious Perfect, we could still play Collector's Cage? Alright. I'm into that. So they kind of need to kill something here so we can't play both cards. Oh, actually, we'd still be able to anyway if they... well, they have to kill the Loam Speaker, so we can't, I guess. Oh, alright. So we get an opportunity to set things up. Love that. Let's do exactly that then. Let's play this. Let's play this. Tap this guy, I guess, because we're not going to block with that one. Did we get anything good? We got a March of the World dues. You know what? I'm going to attack just because. To send a message with that 2/2. That we ain't scared. Come on, don't kill our cage. Don't kill our cage. Alright. Now we just have to hope to not die next turn. Actually, no, we just make the cage now. We have 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we put a counter on Imperious Perfect. Because then we'll have... oh, no. That won't work yet. If I make a 1/1, it's a 2/2. What if I do this first? How does that change things? So now I have a 2, a 3, and a 5. Alright, so now I can turn one of the 3s into a 4. That's what I needed to be doing. And now we can get a March of the World Ooze, and we can end the game. There we go. That's 24, even if you block. That's sicko. And our draw wasn't even good. That's why this deck's silly. Oh, I could have animated a land first, but this is fine. Like, I can still attack. It doesn't harm anything. Is Standard too fast and efficient now? Not necessarily. I mean, I think the thing is, you're at a point where you are, a lot of times, early in the season, where nobody knows what the format's going to look like, right? The benefit that control decks have is that as the season goes on, they get better because the meta or the choice of popular cards becomes more defined. Because the issue with control decks is you have to know what combination of cards you need to be trying to deal with, what are the best sweepers to play, how many card draw spells can you get away with, like how many off turns can you have, right? You don't really know that in the beginning. So that's why you see in the beginning of the season control decks struggle, but later in the season you start seeing more of them. That's really kind of the short, balanced answer to all of that. Bankbuster versus Aether Siphon. I don't even know what Aether Siphon is, so I have to assume it's worse than Bankbuster. Oh, can we get away with this? I feel like just turn 2 Leaf Crown Visionary is so weak. I'm going to mulligan. Alright, this is greedier, and I'm okay with it. Keep it. I'm going to get rid of 1 Llanowar Elf, and we're going to draw a land later to make ourselves not feel so bad. I do kind of like the idea that we have double Archdruid, so like the first one can die and we could stick the second one maybe. Novus Inspector. Well, looks like I'm going to need these Dwynen Elites to do real work. Alright. Up against a token aggro deck. We can beat these if we get the right draw. Like if we were to get another Dwynen's Elite and we go like Elite, Elite, then Archdruid or something, we could probably fight that fight. Or just make 4/4s and stuff and just attack into them. Alright, well, you got the first one. But did you know we have a second one? Attacking. Alright. Good news is they didn't turn that artifact into tokens, and that was about to be scary. I'm beginning to think this isn't the aggro tokens list. This is something else. Yeah. This is some type of blue-white artifacts pile. Fair enough. I guess they're just playing a ton of the removal artifacts. Like I don't know what's happening here. Yeah, let's play this guy, I guess. And attack. I mean, if they're just gonna remove all of our lords, then I guess next turn we just try to play Dwynen's Elite Collector Cage. There's a nesting bot. That's a lot less scary. Probably another... Oh, a doll maker shop. Okay. Well, we will be blocking some things. I'm definitely not clued in 100% to what the opponent's doing here, but kind of halfway ignoring that too. So I have 2s and a 3. I can't make quite what we want yet, so let's do this. Find Voja works. We're not mad at that. And pass the turn? Yeah, I'm just going to pass here, I think. Because I kind of want to tap the elf to make another 1/1 and then try to go off with Collector's Cage next turn. I think it's going to be our goal here. And if they attack, we're just blocking. We don't care. We're not that concerned. Well, they'll get to draw some cards. That's fine. Like, we're okay with that. They can spend 2 mana to gain 3 draw cards. If they attack here, we have great blocks. So they make another 1/1. That's fine. I'll even do it with the fresh token. Though, to be fair, they will get another blocker, but that's fine. We're pretty far ahead here, I think. So... Oh, boy. We get to play this guy? Alright. And then we'll just counter, and then try to go off next turn, I guess, is the goal here. So let's get in there with this, I think is the plan. Yeah, that works. Because whatever they block, we'll just put the counter on that. And they can, like, double or triple block something else. We don't really care. Alright, opponent's at 8. Alright, here comes some life and some cards. I'm assuming at least one of those is a land, and we'll see one or two more things here. Mendicant. Alright, well, you got a big 6/3, friend. We're going to have way more attackers, I think. So we're okay with that. Sure. Body. Love that for us. And I think we just attack with everything here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You take that. All those die. Or I could just leave these back and then make creatures, which is also valid. Alright, let's go. Because I don't think we die this way. I don't think there's anything wild that could top deck that really overly affects us. Do I have a pet card in the new set I want to boo around? Not really. There's a lot of cool stuff in the set. I think Aetherdrift has a lot of great, interesting cards. But nothing I would call a pet card that I'm super concerned with. Alright, so they're just going to take 3, lose those bodies. Yeah, we're okay with that. Alright, opponent goes to 7. And then... yeah, it's fine. Sure, that will go ahead and make a dude real quick. And... die? I mean, like, I don't know what else is supposed to happen here. Yeah, exactly. All right, cool. Oh, see you later, wizard. Didn't see you sneak out of there. Yeah, this is wild. Like, the fact that they just removed our first 3 lords or whatever, and we're just like, whatever. We're just going to keep doing our thing. I think I didn't play that efficiently, though. I could have got Voja like 2 turns ago, and we probably would have won a lot easier. But I guess this made for better content because of a dumb play. But it works either way. That's why some decks win tournaments, because they're brewed to beat the meta decks. No one expects them. Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a real thing. Like, once the meta is defined, you can start pinpointing things to attack. But yeah, I don't know. We're playing a lot of different cards right now. So nothing I'm really pinpointing. Okay, we get to go first with Elves, Collector's Cage, and March. This is weird, because this hand looks normal, but I have a feeling it could go very sideways. We almost need them to just not kill Archdruid, but I don't see that being a real valid situation. But we'll see. Ooh. Is it better if we go Elf, and then possibly top deck a land here? Nah, we just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, let's get an untapped land. We get the March down and then try to go for it? No, they had it. Darn it. Didn't get to go crazy. It's alright. Let's go here. Let's see if we can dig to a land, if nothing else. Imperious perfect. Sadly, it's got to go. It's not what we're trying to do right now. Oh, and you're playing no witnesses? Gross. Don't love that. I assume they're doing reanimator shenanigans. It's just a matter of what variety of it. This doesn't look like they're playing Oculus and stuff. This is probably like Omniscience. Oh, wait, no. We were wrong. They do actually have some of those in there. Okay. That's not how I expected that would look. Okay. So, I'm like, what's the decision we're going to make here? Do we just go March since we can stick it and then hope we can just run over them? Oh, that comes into play tap though. Oh, I totally forgot. That was dumb. All right, here's another option though. We could possibly set ourselves up. It's going to be a land now, of course. Yeah, that's always how it happens. All right, I was going to say we could set ourselves up for the collector's cage, but it's whatever. All right, let's see what happens here. They're going to no witnesses? Oh, no, because they don't have the land for it. I guess you could get lost. In a weird way, get lost potentially helps us with the collector's cage. So I wouldn't hate that too much. Bouncing the 2/2 Llanowar Elf. Okay, fair. I thought they might bounce a token just to get it off the battlefield. But I guess now we're going to reanimate. How many counters? It doesn't look like they're playing a lot of counters. So maybe that's not what they're aiming for here. But that is going to be a big... Oh, they have an Oculus? Eee. Thought it was just going to be Hottie there. Okay. Well. I mean, I guess we just get in and attack with 6/6s then. That's our working plan, I guess. Like, here we go. I don't know what else we're doing. I mean, block or don't. I mean, it's fine by us. I'm sure you're just going to reanimate the Oculus anyway, but sure. I mean, the thing is, at least whatever's there is going to be relegated to blocking again. So, sure. Now, the question is, do you get both of them? And also Hottie? Oh, they just hard cast a Hottie. Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, well, that's the thing that happened. Fortunately, they don't have that many spells in their yard because of the way... Instant and sorceries, because of the way things worked out. So... we can also save something now that gets blocked by the Oculus. So that's good. Put a Voja down. Let's go ahead and play this for another body. Let's get in there and attack. I mean, you got to do something. So we get to kill the Oculus. Killing Oculus is better because that's just a free body. I mean, saving against the Oculus. But, yeah, let's kill all that. Opponent's at 5. I'm assuming there's at least one more reanimator spell of some kind. Oh, just a straight up Hottie that was hanging out there. Look at that. Pickpocket? Or picklock? Alright. And another reanimate? Of course. Alright, so we're doing this again. The thing is, everything they have is dedicated to blocking now anyway. So if we just keep drawing creatures, we're just going to stay ahead under the circumstances, so sure. And now we actually get Voja anyway. So we can have 6, 7, 8. Oh, we just have it anyway. So sure. So we get a bonus card. I mean, everybody's got a block. Oh, wait, did we not get a card? Oh, because Voja has to attack to get the draw. That was my mistake. Probably shouldn't have cast the Voja there. Nope, did matter. You know what? I can't be too mad at the March of the World dues. Our opponent effectively during the course of that game had 3 Haughty Djinns, 2 Oculus, because they got one out of the yard twice. They got a Haughty Djinn, they flipped a Haughty Djinn, they cast a Haughty Djinn, and they killed our first couple of creatures early. Well, bounced one, killed one. You know what? If we can hang with that, this is all right. I'm good with that. And the best part is they use, and this is kind of the thing, right? They use their Get Lost on an elf early, so they weren't able to use it on our March. Now, that being said, we drew another March, so it probably didn't matter anyway. But fact of the matter. But yeah, I think the elves overall are pretty good, truthfully. I mean, it's weird to think that like splashing the white and the red for non-elf things is the way to go. But I mean, we hung with a lot of good decks. We had one bad draw that we got run over, and then we just got outdrawn, outplayed against one mono black deck. But then we also beat 2 of them. So if you can hang with those that are killing all your creatures, and you have good top decks with, Voja, with the March, with the Cage, hard to be upset. Hard to be upset. We didn't see any mono red, which I think could still be a problem, but that's just a matter of like, do you get your things that pump your stuff? Do you get an early Cage or not? So there's a little bit of back and forth depending on what removal cards they get. But otherwise, yeah, a good update for Elves, and you don't have to spend a lot of new wild cards. You probably already have some of it. So, yeah, deck list will be available. Y'all know the drill. Don't forget, help us get an editor. Go ahead and use Tales of Adventure. Code DRAGN, save yourself 5%, help us out. Or just buy some merch down below. That helps too. You get something and it still goes to the same project. Anyway, y'all know the drill. There's more videos to watch. And of course, have fun. See you in the next one. Yeah, I don't know. Elves is super good. That worked out way better than it should have. It felt like. That actually felt good. And again, we played against several decks that we would call top tier decks, right? The mono blacks, the Azorius Reanimator stuff. One of the weird mid-rangey decks that we ran over, we beat a Simulacrum deck that had 2 Simulacrums in play at the end of the game, right? So, or Synthesizer, I should say. So yeah, it's hard to be upset at that. That's man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of surprised. Like, all right, so if people want to see an actual control deck, here's an option. It's another March of the World Dues deck, so we may wait on this. We may do something else first. But I thought March of the World Dues with Feladar's Retreat, when you're making tokens that are 6/6s, that's kind of amusing. So like maybe that's a thing. But we do have Rakdos Sacrifice. This looks mostly the same as the previous ones, except we get to play Grim Bauble as some of our removal. And we're playing, what else new was in here? I thought and Blood Gas, because you can sacrifice that to things and it comes back pretty easy. Other than that, I think we're just playing kind of everything you expect in this list. So this is another one that if you want an easy upgrade to a deck that exists, this is probably a decent way to go. What else do we have? Delirium, I don't think I did much to this list. We just swapped out stuff to play the Engineer and the Afterburner Expert, which I think you're seeing that in a few different Delirium lists, so this isn't like groundbreaking or anything. I think it's kind of does what we expect. And then we have this artifacts list, and we talked about this on the last stream a little bit about stuff we could do with this, but this is kind of like Bright Glass Gear Hulk and what can we get away with on this card, right? And we're playing Duskrose Reliquary along with Haywire Might and Basilisk Collar as some of our fun catch-all answers, whatever that we can go get. But we can always go get like a Teething Wormlet or a Nesting Bot as well if we want like a blocker and all that. So some fun stuff we can do with this deck. We also get to play Sundial, which is sweet because it's an artifact creature. So found a use for this quirky, weird thing. It's a 2-mana 3/3 that happens to be an artifact, so that's kind of cool. And then Yoshin Dissident, because all the artifacts coming into play let you put counters. We get Dollmaker Shop, but if we get it under Collector's Cage, then we can just play the big side. Hey, Just Fab, thank you for following. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we do this next. I don't know how this would go. But I think we'll be cool on the retreat because that's basically another World Ooze deck, so we don't necessarily want to do that. There's also this one. I don't know how good this is, but I saw somebody else playing a similar list. I think it was Hamhawks42 played a list similar to this. I think his didn't have Insidious Roots though. But my thought was like, could we get quirky with Roots and play a bunch of insect stuff? Like Achik, Swarmweaver, the little Molt Tinder makes is an insect that can make mana. And if we have Insidious Roots, obviously this is removing stuff from the yard. The artifact, the Broodheart engine removes stuff from the yard. So like there's some stuff here. I don't know how good it is, but like maybe, you know, like I don't know, it feels quirky, but I feel like to me I like the idea of this because it's a roots deck that doesn't lean on roots, right? In theory, we could just still win doing other things, but it happens to also be an Insidious Roots deck. And maybe that's the way to go. Because so far, I've seen like all the Insidious Roots decks I've seen, when they don't get the roots, the deck feels like it doesn't do much. Because you have all these little like kind of junky 1/1s and 1/2s or whatever, and they're just not getting the job done, right? But if you have other real bodies, and then occasionally you're getting the actual plant creatures or whatever from the Insidious Roots, then that's actually kind of cool. So I don't mind that. But it's an idea. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't need roots at all. Maybe it's just completely unnecessary. I don't even know if there's other things with insect as the type. Maybe. Like insect that's playable. I mean, that's actually worthwhile. Because, I mean, you could play like Skull Dweller, but that's not that exciting. Nesting Hornbeetle takes too long to get big. There is Altenac if we want to do that. I forgot he was an insect. If we want to like put stuff in the yard. Oh, this guy's actually sweet. I forgot he was an insect. I kind of like this guy too. Though we already have Haywire Mite, but this card is kind of nice. Doesn't die to cut down. It's a sizable body with reach that can block like the 1/2 guys in the mono red decks. Later on, you can cycle it. I mean, you know, maybe if I wasn't so worried about playing Insidious Roots, like we could probably justify this card. I bet. Huh? How many lands are we playing? No, only 22. That's not good. I got to get more lands in the deck. I have to switch this up. This is not going to work. So maybe Roots got to go, and we play 2 of these, and we get another green in there, another forest, and maybe something closer to this. Because I don't think there's any other good insects. Oh, this guy, I mean, he does get rid of a token. Does have reach. Not like the worst thing. Not excited about it, but, you know, it's a thing. Maybe we just start somewhere in the middle here and try to make this work. Because it's 23 land. The problem is, like, it's 23 land, a mana creature. We do get the option of getting some stuff back with, like, Dredger's Insight. So that could help. Man, this is tough. All right, probably go there. Do still have more green than black, but we need our black mana earlier. Unless we just get, like, Molt Tinder. The rest can kind of wait till turn 2 or 3. Maybe we can't play Web Strike Elite. Maybe we just play 2. Well, I mean, we only have 21 creatures, but we do have ways to get creatures back. So there's that, too. This is a tough decision. Maybe it's supposed to be another Broodheart engine, since we can get stuff out of the yard that way. Because this basically reanimates, like, graveyard back onto the battlefield. So what if we cut those, we play one of these? That's 60 still, with 24 lands. Like, that's probably a thing? I wonder how close this is to the list that Hamhawks was playing, because it feels like it'd probably be real similar. I don't know. Like, here we are. Maybe we do this. Maybe we just go insects. It's not insects roots now. Now it's just insects. I gotta change the name entirely. There's no roots. It's just insects. I do like the idea, though, that you could, like, get back Atchik multiple times between Scavenger's Talent and the Broodheart engine. So like if we spend the first few turns filling up the yard or creatures dying or whatever, and then we can stick either an engine or an Atchik, and then like it comes into play and you have like 8/1/1s or something, like that could be kind of sweet. It's for each artifact and for each creature. But we only have 19 creatures is like the downside. But maybe it's fine. I don't know. Maybe we try it. Maybe we just try it. What else do... Yeah, so maybe we do that. And if we have time, maybe we sneak in some artifacts or delirium. One of those two. Because, I mean, we could always do Rakdos Sacrifice, too. I don't know. There's a lot of... Oh, I forgot. We have the Selesnya counters list, too. Gosh, dang it. I hadn't even played this yet. I don't know how this would go either. Because, again, we're back to doing some Bright Glass Gearhulk stuff, but then we're playing Bristly Bill, the Botanical Brawlers. Like, just maxing out on +1/+1 counters with Bulwark, because you can also save all your stuff with counters, so that's kind of sweet. And then we showed this yesterday, too. This, like, weird Golgari list that I haven't even gotten around to really messing around with yet. I have no idea if this is good or bad. It might be absolute trash. I for real have no clue. like, I'm not even at all in the ballpark of if this is good or not. So, I don't know. Maybe one less Web Strike Elite, another Imperial Sword, just so you have another big body. But, I don't know. There's a lot going on in Standard right now, y'all. It's hard to know what we should be playing or not. But, let's go ahead and give Insects a run. Let's try. Let's see what we got going on. All right. All right, what's up, Dragon Brew? Today we're going to be playing some cards that are actually a lot of fun that you don't see that much of, and one that I think people want to actually play and build around from Aetherdrift, so we're going to talk about that. Also, I want to give credit to Hamhawks42 here. I was working on a list like this already, and he was already putting in time on it as well, one of his lists that I came across. So we're probably almost within just like 2 or 3 cards difference now at this point. So I want to shout him out if you haven't followed him or seen his stuff. But let's get into this one. We are playing some Grim Bauble because it is an artifact. It removes stuff and can actually surveil too and put things into our graveyard. So we are going to be doing a lot of graveyard shenanigans with this. Speaking of, Scavenger's Talent is a way to get us some extra food to buy time, but also letting us sacrifice things to get stuff back into play out of the graveyard, which is super nice. Haywire Might, kind of a good catch-all little body here. It's a creature, it's an artifact, and it can gain us a little bit of life. Molt Tender is super nice, being able to remove stuff from the graveyard and actually get us some mana. Don't know how long this will live, but the artwork on it's kind of sweet. Quag Feast is also a new removal spell here. Lets you mill a couple of cards, and then you can destroy something equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. Obviously, we'll be hopefully putting a lot of things in our graveyard, so this should get to kill a lot of things. Dredger's Insight. You've been seeing this in a lot of lists, so I don't think this is too big of a surprise for folks. But good way to return some stuff from the graveyard and get you a little bit extra life while filling the graveyard. Broodheart Engine. This is going to be one of the good cards for us, letting us get some key things out of the graveyard. And it lets us surveil, which is also nice. So it does a few things for this list. Kind of a creepy artwork here as well, with like a heart with some pipes going into it. I don't even know what's happening there. Brood Spinner. This is a 2/3 with reach. Also surveils, which is nice. But we can also get a bunch of 1/1 insects. And if you notice a theme, a lot of stuff is insects here. Speaking of which, Swarm Weaver is pretty nice. It creates 2 1/1 black and green flying insects. But as long as there are 4 or more card types in a graveyard, which should be pretty easy to do, insects and spiders get +1/+1 and have death touch. So combination with Brood Spinner, obviously very good as well. And then the new card, Atchik, Emerald Radiant. 3/3, not so big for 6 mana, so that is a little bit of a downer, but sometimes we can get it into play cheap. But when it enters, we get a 1/1 green insect token for each artifact and creature in our graveyard, so hopefully we're getting like at least 6 or 7 by the time we play it. But then anytime one of them dies, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on Atchik, and our opponent loses a life. So if they sweep the board and those all go away, could be some fun stuff there, right? So we'll see if this works. This is probably the closest we've come to having an insect deck. You know the drill. If you want the deck list, there will be a link. It'll take you over to Moxfield, a channel sponsor, where you can try it out. Also, if you want to help us on our way to being able to get an editor, please support our sponsor over at Tales of Adventure. You can use code DRAGON, DRAGN. It'll save you 5% on everything. And we're going to be taking all the money from there or the merch shelf or whatever if y'all buy anything here on YouTube or anything else. we'll be putting that toward getting better, so y'all get better and more content. But all right, let's go see if insects can bite through the competition. Because, man, I have no idea if this deck does anything. Real talk, I have no idea if this is going to be remotely solid. It feels like if the deck is playable or decent, there's going to be a lot of close games. And we get wrecked if somebody's playing like Rest in Peace or something, right? We go first. So obviously either one of these. Turn to Engine. Maybe Insight, actually. You know, okay, sure. This is probably fine. Let's Surveil. If it's not a land, we're probably putting it in the yard. It is a land, so we'll keep it. Alright. So we have 4 mana, which is good. That's kind of the thing we're aiming for here. Oh, against blue-black, what would we want more? If we get this, we get to Surveil 2. If we get this, we possibly get to kill some of the bouncy artifacts they're going to play. I'd probably take my chances with Haywire Might. Because I feel like they're going to play something here and make us discard, so it'll probably be Achik. No, they didn't. Interesting. I thought they were going to. Well, damn. So it's either counter or removal, right? Let's just do this. And then hopefully we get to stick the Swarm Weaver next turn. Oh, that's what we're doing? Okay, so it's the different type of blue deck here. Well, that's kind of good to know. Alright. I guess we just play this? I was thinking there's a chance one of these die, but we already have a creature in the yard, so we kind of need Haywire Might to be the thing to die here. Oh, sweet. They took care of that problem for us. Love that. So now we have 4 things in the yard again, and we get to stick a Swarm Weaver. Fortunately, we don't even need that. Fantastic. That worked out perfectly. Then we go with this guy. Now they can kill Swarm Weaver, but we can at least still just block the Mastermind regardless, so that's fine. I'm assuming they have another kill spell. Jace. Alright. I mean, I guess if they have go for the throat, it can't kill this because it's an artifact creature. Oh, darn. Our insects in 01 or 02. Oh, we lose the Broodheart engine. That sucks. That actually is a real loss, believe it or not. Kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I guess we attack into Jace, right? I mean, doesn't change much for us either way here, so it's just like, might as well do it. Alright. Interesting. So I was thinking if they had a removal, they would use the minus on the Swarm Weaver and then kill our token, but it doesn't appear they have that. So it makes me wonder if you're just sitting on a counter here or want to kill our land. I guess you could block our land with the or a Swarm Weaver with your land. So I think we try to bait that out because they don't know we have a 6 land for Achik here. Excellent. They're going to do it. That's what we want to see. Love that. All right, now we go for Achik. Get us 5 tokens. All right. Ritual Chamber, make you a 6/6. That tracks. So now, can we get a thing out of the graveyard? Ooh, actually, if our Achik dies, we get even more. Ooh, and oh my gosh, that was great. Love that. So now we can send 1, 2, 3. Actually, we don't have to send 2 into Jace, huh? I mean, I guess they could have a cut down, but I don't think they do. So we're going to go 2 into Jace. And then we're going to send all of these at the opponent. Do I need to leave 1 to block here? Is there any way we die? I don't feel like we do. You know, famous last words, but... Alright. I mean, because if they sweep the board, they're going to lose... These are all insects, except for the Scarecrow. So they're going to lose a bunch there. And then we just play another Atchik for a pile of bodies. Yeah, I don't know what your game plan is here. Like... yeah, kill the thing you can kill, I guess. Sure, you got a Bronco? You block those and take 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, that's everything. Let's just go. Send in the clowns. Yeah. Like this, we beat a real deck with this. I didn't think this was going to do all that much. Yeah, you got it. Sure. All right, cool. I will take those. Rankings always reset at the end of the month, or technically first of the month, or however you view it. Like, but basically every 30 days. All right, so insects, man. They did a thing. I didn't think that was a thing that was going to do anything, but that's why we play the games. Because you never know. Ooh, okay. I think we keep this, right? Because worst case, we have turn 1 Molt Tender. If we have to kill something on turn 2 or turn 1, we can use Bobble. Otherwise, we just play like Insight, and it's cool. Also, if Molt Tender doesn't die, then we can Insight and still play Bobble. Because we'll have cards in the graveyard. I mean, I might have an opponent. This is very engaging content. But legit, as a reminder, don't forget, subscribe. If y'all actually want deck help, I have a level on YouTube as well, that if a membership level that can actually get you private help if you want it with your new decks. We're going to keep this, though. All right, so let's go ahead and play the Tinder first. Is Tinder dead? Tinder is dead. All right. Not a surprise. I expect we're going to see a lot of these, like, black base bounce decks and whatever doing their thing, so. We did lose a land, but we can get a land back, so let's go ahead and take that. Play Fired Brick, sure. And then they get to play a land. Play that, and I guess we do this. Since we get to surveil, maybe find a land. Oh, Scavenger's Talent, dang. And this will be tapped anyway. Ugh. I mean, we definitely want this on top. I just don't know if I want to have the Scavenger. That's tough. I think we put it in the yard. Yeah. Don't love that, but I'm just trying to figure out like what the rest of the game looks like, and it feels like that's something we just got to get rid of. Don't love it, but tough decision. Another Brood Spinner. All right. We'll go get in there. See what you want to do to that guy. Gonna die a horrible death? Scroll Shift. You know what's funny? I almost played Haywire Might, and I didn't do it, which is funny. But I'll do it now. End the turn. So yeah, so this is actually a whole different deck than we've seen. This is just a control version of all the enchantment silliness. Tithing Blade. Sure. What does this cost? 2 to sacrifice? I mean, if that's the case, we might as well just... Either one of these. I mean, make them spend their mana for the turn, I guess. Oh, they're going to bounce it. Okay, sure. We can live with that. Fortunately, we have multiple things that make multiple other things. Hey, for 6 months. Thank you. Prophetic Prism. Oh, drawing a card. Opponent's going deep. Lots of artifacts here, so I'm assuming there's something artifact-based or some such in that list that is important. So probably good to keep an eye on. I mean, I guess we're attacking. I'm going to set up a few things here. We can do this. We can also play this. So if they do Sunfall, we can still get rid of something. This turns in and makes you 2/1/1. Gnomes are on the ground, though. All right. So I assume there's some type of sweeper here. Probably a Sunfall. Since all they're doing is playing control things. Maybe they're just trying to kill you with the golems or something. I don't really know. All right, they're going to draw another card. I mean, I'm a little jealous that we don't have mana, because we could be doing a lot more. But we're kind of just stuck at the moment. Momentum Breaker, sure. We'll get rid of this. Surveil. Another Swarm Weaver, huh? Yeah, might as well go in the yard. You know, that's as good as anything. What the hell? Why not? Get rid of that. So we can keep attacking. Oh, you're going to save it? Sure. You got it. I swear, this town ain't big enough. It's such a silly card. It almost seems like it should only work if it targets two... Like in that case, where it targets 2 of your own things to be so cheap. Or maybe even has to target, like, has to target one of your opponent's things and one of your things. Because, like, getting to target 2 of your own is actually pretty good. Alright, what do we got going on here? Alright. Sure, draw away. You got it. And another clay-fired bricks. All right. That needs 7 mana to do its thing. Good to know. All right, I guess we take our turn. A brood spinner. Jeez. Where's our land at? Even just being able to attack with our creature land at this point would be nice. Oh, there we go. I was going to say, to start applying some extra pressure. Because we got to do something. All right. Is this where we make golems? Since they have 8 mana now, 9 mana they have access to. We're so far behind. Well, that'll help you dig for whatever you're looking for. Temporary lockdown. Sure. fun part is, if we for some reason get that back, like if they bounce that, we do actually get value from those other things coming back into play. And now you make us sacrifice this guy. And then we play the other Swarm Weaver. Because what else are we going to do? Oh, here comes the land all late. One, two, three, four. We need 6. All right, I guess we go ahead. I mean, if they waited this long to play a sweeper, then like I guess you got us, you know. I don't think either of these help us win. We're probably just looking for like Achik or something here. Does this have to be used as a sorcery? It doesn't. That's good. I mean, they might scroll shift the temporary lockdown. Yeah, they're checking what's under the lockdown. So I'm guessing that's what's about to happen here. I mean, they do get a lot of value themselves. Clay-fired bricks, tithing blade. Like, there's a lot that happens here if they do that. Yep, that's what I thought. Now, we do get to put a card into our hand here. So this is a real thing. This isn't completely worthless for us. Ooh, we will take an Achik. That's one of the things we were looking for. Now, we do lose this because the other abilities still trigger and do all their things. And we still haven't found another one of our Reanimator artifacts, the Brood Heart or whatever thing. Oh, dang it. And they got a Hopeless Nightmare. Gosh damn. Alright, well, if they got it, they got it. It took us too long to find real cards or mana, so I shouldn't be surprised if this is the situation that we're in. All things considered. However, we got this, but there's not a lot of value left under here for us, unfortunately, I don't believe. Oh, no, not true. There is a Brood Heart under there. So we could get Achik back. Oh, actually, we get a lot out of this. Though we would have to sacrifice 2 things. So we only get so much value out of it. So let's just pass. I guess during their instep, though, I could have done that and then used the Brood Heart immediately to get the Achik. Probably would have been better. I don't know. Tough call. And who knows, they might still have like another scroll shift or something. Like, we'll see. This has been a weird game. And we each have 30 cards left. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Well, some lands we don't really want, but we'll take one of them. Ooh, double Brood Heart. All right. That's actually probably good for us, I imagine. Can we use this? Oh, it has to be as a sorcery. All right. Okay. Oh, is it going to be another one? Oh, I was going to say, probably have another temporary lockdown. Now the best part is if they do decide to get rid of our Broodheart engine, we actually have more things on top that they don't know about. So that's kind of nice. They're checking our graveyard like, I probably don't want you to have that. And you're right. But fortunately, we have 2 more. Another temporary lockdown. Using this doesn't do anything because we know we want both cards on top, so that's fine. I don't know, man. If we manage to win this one, geez, I feel like we've worked our way. We've earned it if we win this one. All right, so let's go Broodheart engine. And we'll try to target Achik since that's like 15 dudes. All right. Does that work? All right. Step 1. Get Atchik into play. And then you're probably going to blink the thing, and we got to do it all over again. But is what it is. Unfortunately, it means we will lose the other Broodheart engine, so we have to put it in our hand. Oh, wait. Actually, we don't mind that, because we just get to replay it, right? So that's cool. How many of those have we gone through, by the way? 2 this towns, 2 scroll shifts. 3 this towns, 2 temporary lockdown, 3 scroll shifts. Or 2 scroll shifts. Alright. Good to know. So I have to put the other Broodheart in the hand, I think. It's the only thing that makes sense. We'll probably end up having to discard it anyway, but gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Yep. That's what I thought was gonna happen, but that's fine. We know the drill. Sorry I'll have to sit through this. This is quite the boring game. But it is what it is. Alright, well, we'll just do this and their kill spell can kill this, I guess. Sure. On the turn. Witch Claw Talisman. Ooh, if they actually give us that, what's under here that we could utilize? Oh, that's their graveyard. Wait, is there this town under here? What happened when I clicked on that? No, that was weird. If we got a Broodheart engine, we could use it immediately on our turn. Wow, I don't know. There are options. Let's see what they decide to do. They're probably going to get something that kills our land, if I were guessing. Yeah, I wouldn't be excited to play this on stream or in paper. Like, and if we were playing a deck that just had more like enchantment or artifact removal, we probably would have been fine anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna assume they got something that kills our creature land. So now I'm oh, hold up. All right. I mean, Atchik, I guess, go to the well again. Get a pile of things. I think that's our last Broodheart engine, too. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, is there one more? Oh, wait, there's one exiled. Yeah, one's in exile over here. Yeah, alright, that makes sense. We're gonna bounce the temporary lockdown again. Because why not? My opponent's at 21. We can attack for 22 plus 4 is 26. Alright. They're going to remove the lockdown again, so we're going to do this whole cycle of stuff all over again. Well, I'm assuming they have at least 2 more lockdowns. So we're doing this again. Yep, those all do their thing. We return something that's just going to go to the yard anyway. So, I mean, sure. And then what happens when this gets the 3rd thing? Because, like, I might as well use it, right? Yeah, we'll sack this. Opponent does lose life when these die, so there's that. Alright. Then shuffle and opponent's right back to 100. Oh, it has 2, so it just does nothing. Oh, wait. Oh, I didn't even have the mana to do it. Takes 2. Alright. So it's back in the yard. And a Hopeless Nightmare, so we're at 23. Yep, rest in peace. There goes the graveyards. I mean, we can still just hard... I was about to say, just hard draw an Aetherdrift, but there's nothing there yet, so... I'll assume whatever they got earlier kills a creature land. No? Weird, but okay. I mean, I'm assuming I get decked before they do. I have 14 cards, they have 19. Yeah, this has just been a boring game. I'd like... Sort of feels like, again, if we had anything real... like, even if we probably stuck a Planeswalker or something, we're probably good there. I mean, I might as well. The other thing, too, is how do they plan on even killing us? Like, is their plan just kill us with their fairies that are juiced up and some combination of Hopeless Nightmares? Alright. Those are all things, I guess. Yep. Everything does their things. Well, now they have 16 cards and we have 13 cards. We're about to mill some more. Unfortunately, got lands that don't do anything. Might as well play it in the turn. So now we got 9 cards left. They've got 15. That should be enough to get this over with. Yeah, but again, if I'd have had even, like, Get Lost and stuff, we could have changed the whole look of the game. Sure. The last lockdown, I guess. And a Tithing Blade. Why not? Alright, Restless Cottage. I have 7 turns. I actually have 6 turns. Sure. Now, I'm going to assume they go get something here that allows them to kill our creature land. But now I'm wondering, do I take something from the talisman, and is there anything left that does anything good? Because I don't know that answer. Like... Swarm Weaver... Actually, wait, why is Swarm Weaver still reading as a 4? Huh. Okay. So what did you go get there? Is it the last, like, scroll shift? Sorry, y'all, I'm trying to, like, do a quick inventory. So they probably could have got this town. Because there's one more of those, right? 1, 2, 3. There's another Hopeless Nightmare. There's 1, 2, 3 scroll shifts used. They have a couple things they could have went and got. Alright. So then, with what's left, and we have a few things ropes we can go through. I think we have 1 Aethydrift left, but there's only going to get us 3 tokens. So that doesn't do much. We could go get a Haywire Mite, and then kind of have control of what happens with the temporary lockdown. Because I think we have 1 more Haywire Mite left. Quag Feast is a sorcery that doesn't really help us. And then Brood Spinner could maybe make us some bodies, but those will just get gotten... Maybe Haywire Mite is all we can go get. Alright. Well... Let's see what happens. I'm assuming it's going to be something to do with their temporary lockdown, so it's probably the last scroll shift. Yep. All right, so we saw what we expected to see there. Sadly, that is going to get us dead, because now we won't have enough cards to get to the finish line here. Because we'll die to our own insight, unfortunately. All right. Well, that's a game we're going to end up not getting to use for the video, so I just wasted like 25 minutes. Also, a deck I don't think is very good. I will genuinely say that. I think that's a pretty bad deck. Mostly because if I'm playing any regular version of Golgari, you have so many things you can do, and temporary lockdown doesn't deal with most of your stuff. Like, but I have seen it around, and that's the first time we've lost to it. So, is what it is. But we will keep this. Hopefully I'll get to see some fun games here. Warden of the Inner Sky. Well, we kind of know where this is going. I'm wondering if I want to just play this so they can't attack through easily. Oh, Swarm Weaver. Actually, I kind of want both of these. The problem is I don't have a fourth land, though, so I guess Swarm Weaver kind of has to go to the graveyard, which is sad for us, but okay. So I think we have to do what we can to hold the opponent's creatures at bay, at least for a minute. But we'll see where it goes. Ah, they had a shelter. Actually, not bad with us having a Haywire Mite, though. So it makes this not as good, which is disappointing, but that's okay. We'll use Bobble on something else. Opponent's attacking. Excellent. We will get rid of the Sheltered by Ghosts. We'll gain 2. Then we'll get a 2/3, and we'll block their 1/2. In that order is fine. All right. Hey, still being at 20 life against that deck? Oh, and they conceded. Sweet. Nice. Alex, I already built the Dino deck. We already did all the work. It's on the channel. It was like the second video we put up. The first one was mono green. The second one was dinosaurs. The trick is, don't try to do too much with them. I think everybody trying to, like, I gotta go play this Galta, and I gotta do this thing, and I gotta play the thing that gives them haste, and I gotta play the Raptor. Like, I think that's where people are getting in trouble. Ooh. All right, this could be reasonable. Yeah, let's keep it. And all right, some blue-white stuff. Oh, we're going to be doing artifacty things. We have a lot of tap lands that we need to get into play. I was thinking here, though, if we play this on 1, then we can still put this and put something in the yard on 2. And then still, like, Quag Feast or this if we want. So I'm going to try that. I mean, this plan backfires if something happens to the Molt Tinder, but, I mean, I guess if it does, it does. Risk it for the biscuit, right? Yeah, we'll just stick with the plan here, I guess. Surveil. A land, probably fine. And then we'll just play this, since opponent's not doing anything else. Oh, you know what? They're probably going to play Synthesizer next turn, if I were guessing. We already have 4 lands, so sure. Or access to 4 land. Though a Haywire Mite's probably just as good here. Oh, this is creature. Oh, no. Or vehicle. Okay, fortunately, we can kill that guy. I definitely should have got Haywire Mite, though. I wasn't even thinking. How many cards do we have in the yard? 3? And then this will put 2 more. So that's probably fine. Let's do that. Ooh, I'm putting Achik in the yard. All right. Keep our eye on that. And you know what? Let's send a message for 1 damage. What else we got going, opponent? Another Urza. Alright, let's try this. And we'll just attack with some insects with attitude. Oh no, Shamil. Oh, this could be real bad. Okay, repurposing bay. Yeah, things are about to not be good for us. Oh no. Oh, but Jesus. Well, this goes and gets a 7? Or whatever they play next and they can level up. Oh gosh. All right. I gotta really figure out what we're doing here. Let's do this. Let's play Broodheart Engine. Let's play this. Crack the engine. Go get Achik, I guess. Wait, what happened there? It's return during... Why do I have to exile anything? Oh, because I got to exile to the 1 mana dude. I see what we're doing. Brain slipped for a second. I was like, wait, that is an exile that puts it into play. All right. I mean, they obviously just block our 2/3 here. All right, let's hope they don't play a sweeper here. They probably are. And this is going to hurt. Okay, Simulacrum. Tough, but not crazy. And then they can get rid of either Shamil. Well, I'd probably have to get rid of Shamil unless they play something else here. Oh, no, so they're going to go to 16. All right. Please don't get anything crazy here. I mean, any artifact's going to make them a 5/5 body, though, right? Okay. Double repurposing bay. All right. That's a thing. Okay, what does this look like? Everybody has Death Touch except for the Swarm Weaver. So probably just attacking with all of it, I'm assuming. Yeah, I can't see a reason why we don't. And then bring this guy back. Achik getting blocked kind of sucks, though. We'd rather Achik be bigger and maybe fight something. And we get the life drain off of her. So, yeah, it's not worth it for her to get in the battle. I guess I could have also left this back and then just played Brood Spinner and got 4 more dudes. Like, that's a reasonable argument, too. I'm also trying to decide how much we need to overcommit or not here. Oh, good thing we didn't attack with extra stuff. That would have killed some things. That would have been bad. That would have been real bad for business. Alright, so opponent's going to go to 6. I mean, do we play anything here, I guess, is the next question. I think we can safely play this. And then if stuff dies, we'll just play Brood Spinner and get a bunch of dudes. A bunch being 6, but, you know. Alright, how bad is it? I mean, they could flip this into another synthesizer. That's kind of tough. Alright, that's not so bad. But if they turn that into a synthesizer and then turn the other thing into some other artifact, that's like 6 extra bodies. They don't seem to be doing that, though. So that's kind of good news for us, I guess. Alright, well, you just naturally have a synthesizer. That works, too. Like, that does the job just the same. And then now you get rid of something else and go get 2 more bodies. Nope, they're just going to go to 9, and I don't think that was the play. Oh, Shamil can get something here, too. Oh, temporary lockdown. That's so bad for us. No! Oh, wrecked. Okay, good news, bad news. We get to keep Atchik. Alright, you... Oh, I can't do both of these on the same turn, though. Damn. Alright, I guess we gotta do it anyway. Neither of those help our situation, do they? Alright. Oh, can we not? Oh, because I have to tap it to do the thing. Boo. I guess we get another Brood Spinner? It's probably the only way we get out of trouble here eventually. And then we at least attack with Atchik here, I guess. I mean, assuming they'll block the 2/3, so, you know, fine. Alright. Can we get away playing... This doesn't trigger from... This only triggers for insects. I'm gonna end the turn. How bad is it? They don't seem to have a way to gain life. Yep, it definitely is a buggy list. I totally forgot about Brood Spinner being a tap ability, though. And that's going to be what ends me this game, I think. I played around it wrong, thinking it didn't require to tap. And I should have played my previous couple of turns very differently. Like on that last turn, I could have just attacked with the 4/4 lands. But, like I said, I messed up and was thinking the Brood Spinner actually did something it didn't.
The next experiment begins.
Opponent, just... Okay, yeah, you can do that. Then scrap that away. And then just get you 2 big bodies. Oh, that works too. Yeah, that should do it. And in this one, I'm losing just because of my own mistake. I could have just attacked and killed the opponent last turn. Or at least got rid of Urza, because it had to block the 6/6. Yeah, I'm not putting this loss on the deck. I'm putting this loss on me. It's totally my fault. I deserve it. Yeah, we could have definitely won this. Yeah, I'm just going to GG this one. Like, even if we have a way out, like, you know, maybe we just draw an Atchik or something, but realistically, we should have been in a much better spot than this. Alright. Cool. Sometimes you got to acknowledge that, right? We just messed up. Like I said, if I was even just thinking I was trying to get too cute with this, and on the previous turn, instead of spending any of that mana, if I just attack with the 4, the 2, and the 6, they've got to block the 6, so they don't have Urza. And then they still take 6, and they would have been down to 3 anyway. So we get the same outcome, but we get this off the battlefield, you know? So yeah, that's totally my fault. Yeah, Alex, I don't think I would have done Dracosaur over Trumpeting Carnosaur. Carnosaur is too important to the creature matchups. And it randomly just gets you another body anyway later. Don't get me wrong, I like Dracosaur. I just think the way Standard has been, Dracosaur was not my choice to put in that list. But if things change and there's more mid-range stuff and you're playing against a bunch of control stuff, then yeah, Dracosaur becomes a better choice. We go first. Yeah, we'll keep this. Gonna need to do some real work to make this kind of interesting, but not a bad starting point. I think, has every opponent we played blue or black today except for one? Or am I mistaken? Ooh, this is a choice. Take the third land or take an Atchik or a Swarm Weaver. Oh, gosh. I feel like we're losing either. This is tough. All three of these we want, but I think we have to take the land. But, God, that hurts. Especially if they have discard stuff or whatever. Ugh. Yep. There goes the Quag Feast. Alright, let's go ahead and start trying to get some things into play at least here. Oh, now we get extra lands. You know what? We kind of need both of those, though. So, but they're both tap lands. Alright, I'll at least let this one go. And then we'll still have a couple of turns till we get to Atchik possibilities. Broodspinner dead? Not yet, they say. Not yet. Alright, I mean, I guess we attack. Now, we might lose both creatures here. Truthfully. Nope, that one dies. Fair enough. Okay. Well, we got kind of the awkward draw here. Probably argument to be made that on the previous turn, when I got to keep a card, maybe it should have been the Swarm Weaver. I don't really know. But maybe we'll draw something playable off the top. If the opponent gives us the turn back. I don't know what's happening right now. Alright, our turn. Michael Ratliff says, "You're awesome." Well, thank you. I'm glad you think so. Alright, we're just going to attack with this little 1/1 and see what they want to do about it. Gonna deduce, fair enough. Alright. I have a feeling this is, at this point, that this is just some type of Dimir control, so we're just going to be seeing some sweeper when we actually get Atchik down, unfortunately. So that's a little tough, because we sort of have to walk into it for no real gain, you know? So we attack with the cottage here, they kill the cottage. Then we're stuck playing Atchik that just gets exiled to a sweeper. Sad part is we already have an Atchik in our graveyard, though, so we're going to lose it regardless. That's kind of the downside here. I mean, is there a chance they would... No, what they know we have the Atchik in hand. That's the problem. Yeah, alright. I guess we'll play Atchik and just see what happens. But I'm pretty sure that's how this goes down. At least we'll get a hit in with the Restless Cottage next turn. I mean, who knows? Maybe this just gets countered. Okay, cool. Of course, right? Well, those goes all of our Atchiks once this one's done. So we're going to have to rely on Brood Hearts after that. Why would you not have waited till Atchik's down? Do they need to bounce this? Maybe? Is that what they were aiming for? I don't know what just happened. Like, this is gonna die anyway, but, like, I don't... That was a weird exchange. I don't I'm not completely sure why that exchange went the way it did. But they also didn't immediately play their sweeper here, which is also surprising. Because it feels like that would have been the automatic play, right? Alright, I guess we attack. I mean, that's 6 damage. Sure. So they were holding that to deal with our creature land. So a good thing we didn't actually activate that. Yeah, let's go with this. Surveil. Oh, definitely. Glad we surveilled. We want something other than land at this point. Because I have a feeling the sweeper's coming sooner or later. It's just, how much time do we have? Another Haywire Mite. That's not great. We attack, they take 5, they go to 7. We could kill the land at that point. Yeah, alright, we're just attacking. It's not worth sacrificing Brood Spinner here. We can at least get them to commit to a block with the land, potentially, unless they just have another kill spell in hand. Yep, and then we'll at least get to kill the land. So, that's good. Or does this say non-land? No, it says target creature. Fantastic. Alright, and then we'll kill this. Alright. So that also limits the potential threats we'd be staring at. Alright. Get this down. See what counters are over there. Now if stuff dies, we get some options. And I guess if they counter, we'll try to attack with the Restless Cottage at that point. Or, well, not with that. Like, they have too much mana left open still. Hell, do we just go for it? Alright. If you got something, you got something. Nope, they don't. Fantastic. Blah. That game was not fun. Not fun. But I mean, we survived a lot. I mean, I feel like even if they got a sweeper, we would have still been okay. We at least had some plans. But turns out we just didn't have to work around one. How do we have so many gyms? No, I haven't drafted, like, literally. Oh, you must be new. You haven't seen. Yeah, this is my account. Hey, thank you for following, by the way. 31 draft tokens, 2 sealed tokens, and 7 jump-in tokens. And I don't think I've gotten, except maybe 2 or 3 of these from any of the, like, pre-order bundle things or whatever. So these are just things that I got through, like, the, whatever we call the Mastery Pass and stuff like that. They've just, like, piled up because I never use them. And then, you know, open all the extra wild cards and stuff, and those add up over time. So, yeah. Those are just the like, here's the thing. Those are just for the streamer event. But I have a legit question. And I'm not, this isn't taking shots anyway. This is legitly curious. Why are so many people obsessed with the number of gems or gold that are on people's accounts? Like, I've seen people ask this in multiple people's chats or ask people in comments on people's videos. Like, Like, I've never even thought to ask anybody about it, which is why I find it amusing. But we're going to keep this. No, we're not. We're going to mulligan this. Having 4 Swarm Weaver is terrible. Oh, this is worse. Oh, and now we don't have any green mana. I think we have to keep it, though. This is tough. Golly. Alright, I'm going to hope to get lucky. This is one I think we're just giving up. But, like, we mulligan to 5 and our hand's terrible. Hey, we got a small bailout at least. That's something. Well, our Hairwire Might's obviously dead here. Unless they have like a rage and they just... what do we get? No land. Oh gosh. I guess we take a Grim Bauble? At least that can kill a thing and we can play Brood Engine and then like... If we were to draw an untapped land, we could get Atchik back for 3, maybe 4, because this will be dead. It's kind of all we can do right now. But hey, it's something. Alright, we got Swarm Weaver. It's looking up. Play this. This will let us surveil, also. It's alright. We got a little bit of something happening. Don't want another bauble. That's what we wanted. Fantastic. Love to see that. Alright, no attacks. And now Atchik is at 4, so that's awesome. Sure. I'm gonna block with one of these little things that have Death Touch, probably. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. It has First Strike, right? Do we want to take any damage, though? You know what? I'm gonna let the first one through. We'll see what happens. We're probably gonna get raged out of our boots or something here anyway. Yeah, exactly. So there wasn't even really a benefit to even blocking. Don't know how, but sometimes you just get the vibe, you know things. Alright, we can at least block dragons if dragons show up, so that doesn't suck. Ooh, do you go to the yard? I think you do go to the yard. It's one more creature to feed our Atchik. Oh, and a backup Swarmweaver doesn't suck. Alright. Let's do the thing. And we gain a life, so that's nice. And we're going to attack with a couple of these things. Who have now lost Death Touch, but, sucks to suck. We could also block with Swarmweaver to get back to that, I think. Artifacts. Oh, no, it's all artifacts and creatures in the yard. That actually doesn't do that. That would be disappointing. We are at 16. We can block with our little 1/1s, and Atchik would grow sizably. Ooh, they didn't give their dragon haste. That's interesting. How many of these do we want to block with? I guess we block with 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, they'll just get first striked out, but... I'm wondering if that's... Actually, if we're going to do that, let's block with this. Actually, we could also get rid of the trample at some point. But this does get us 2 life. And grows Atchik 4. That's probably what we want to do. I mean, none of this matters. They have rage, whatever. We don't really care. Like, this is just getting creatures dead. We know we're going to take some amount of damage. It's like, none of that was super relevant, other than gaining us life and growing Atchik here. So our opponent loses life. Sorry, my mistake. Alright, so we have Bauble. We have this thing. What do we want to do? I guess we're attacking with Atchik here? I want to save those to block. I'll attack with Swarmweaver, because we're just going to play the other one, and it already looks a little suspicious if we do that. They have 1 card left. We're at 16. We're going to make 2 more. I mean, I guess they could gang block Atchik here if they really wanted to. That would suck. But I think we're up for it if they want to. Okay, they're not. Fantastic. Oh, and they're going to straight up block there. Okay. Cool. I ain't mad at it. All right. What happens now? I mean, I guess they could have drawn a third Rage or something that pumps the britches, but if they do, they do. I mean, whatevs. Like, situation is what it is. They're probably going to go drawing a card here. Oh, nope, they made a treasure. Why would you make a treasure and not draw a card? And if we block 2, that's 9. This grows. They go to 9. Then we attack. They have to block here and there. Yeah, all right. We'll see what's in your hand. Maybe they needed all that mana for something. I don't know. We're at 8. Or Atchik's at 8. Oh, Imadane's Recruiter. Huh. So they have that for next turn. That's something to know. Ooh, a backup Atchik. Which we can't cast. Or we just play a Brood Spinner. That's probably the right answer. Get 2 life. Go to 15. We know what's in their hands, so unless they have like a crazy top deck, then none of the rest of this really matters. If they block this on Atchik, they would take 4, go to 6, but then they don't have flyers, and this could do a 4 or 5 with trample, but we could block the other stuff. Man, there's a lot of math happening here. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do we not die is the issue. All right, we'll go ahead and play this, because we know we're going to play it anyway. Surveil, probably both of those away. All right, so that helps with the extra info we now have. I'm going to attack with 1, 2, not that. 3 of those? Yeah, that's probably fine. Because then they lose that. Oh, no, those don't have Death Touch yet. I keep forgetting. All right, well, now we have a 9/9. Their ground pounders aren't going to do much here. And we're at 15. And I guess you could have Atchik not be able to block. So 2 things can't block here. That's fair. Sure, that works. So then this can block here. This blocks that. This blocks here. We take 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. The opponent can block. What would be able to attack? Will they be at 6? That block. I think we lose there. Unless we get a removal spell, I guess. Huh. Let me think about this. If we're going to do that, maybe we're better off blocking one of those. And just giving up the Swarm Weaver. Because, like, if that's the thought process, then... We draw one removal, then we just win. Right? Otherwise, this gets blocked. We're only attacking for 4. Unless we get an untapped land, then we make more blockers, I guess. Alright, I guess this is probably more correct. And then we still take 8, 9, 10. Oh, they drew the other Rage. Like, sure. Like, alright, if you're just gonna draw all 3 of them, like, so be it. Like, fine. Like, we lose. Didn't know streamers get test accounts. 6K is totally normal, but I don't know. Again, even on any game, I don't ever really ask when I see it. Correlate with how many hours you played, how successful you are at drafts. Yeah, I definitely don't draft at all. Most people that draft don't even accumulate gems, really. I think most players assume that it's best to spend down all your resources close to 0 to convert into cards, so it's a head turner scratcher. So there's no right way. Honestly, I don't believe there's a best way to spend your resources. It's going to be on an individual basis. That's why I try to be careful about how I tell people, like, this is good, this is bad, do this, do that, don't do that. Like, because everybody's going to have a different thing, right? Like, y'all don't need to do the stuff that we're doing as creators because you don't need, hell, as creators, we don't need 4 of every single card. Like, there's a lot of cards in my account I only ever crafted like 2 of because that's all I ever needed or whatever. But we're going to build more decks. We're going to play a bunch of different stuff. You're going to see a different deck almost every day, right? So it makes more sense for us to go through more resources than you. I guess if you're trying to build a bunch of decks every single day, then sure. But realistically, you don't need to spin down your cards. Like, Arena actually gives you a fair amount of stuff. Like, considering you basically get the equivalent of a pack every day if you hop on and play for, like, I don't know, an hour, right? You can almost get enough to get a pack every single day. Plus, you're opening extra wild cards from the packs you open, and then if you get duplicates, you're getting extra gems or whatever. So there's a lot of ways to get up to where you want to be without having to really, like, blow up your resources. Well, see, that's the thing. If you're buying cosmetics and other things, that's where some of your resources are going to go. We're going to keep this. I think we could go Molt Tender on 1 is fine. And then we could possibly either play Haywire Might or Might Bauble or Quag Feast or whatever on the next turn. Looks like Bauble's the answer. So Bauble it is. Oh, actually, I messed up. I won't be... Oh, no, I can play Haywire Might still. Never mind. Nope, I can't because I won't have a thing in the graveyard. That's unfortunate. Crap. I didn't account for that. that is my dumb mistake. I wasn't even paying attention. Like, because I can't just tap this for mana. I needed to play the swamp there. Eesh. We're probably going to lose because of that, too. That's tough. Ooh, or not. We get bailed out here. Oh, wait. Opponent's just going to let us block? Yeah, I'll conserve some resources to kill things. That seems great. I mean, because I gained 2 anyway, so that's fine. And now I have a creature in the graveyard. That works spectacularly. Go ahead and kill that guy, and then we'll just play this, and I guess attack for 1. All right. That went better than anticipated. Oh, and we're going to get to kill that, too? I definitely didn't expect to see that. Red normally doesn't play big hosses like that in their list. So let's go ahead and play this. And we'll play this. Target that. Attack for just a little bit. And then hope to draw something significant next turn. Because I don't know what else we're going to do. We need some help. No! We don't like seeing Torch the Tower. That's bad for business. Oh, but they just would rather play that. Fine. That's great. Alright. Go attacking, I guess. With this and this. Don't know that you would block, but I wouldn't be upset if you did. Alright, end the turn. I mean, I feel like we're kind of just hanging on here, but... Trying. Gotta find one of our big cards, though. Or a Reanimator card or something. Actually, Reanimator card doesn't do anything. We haven't hit anything in the yard yet. I think I'm gonna have to put a stop during my upkeep to crack this bauble. Oh, wait, never mind. Time to blow this up. As soon as they pass priority, we are not going to the attack step with that thing. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Remove this. Yep. And this is sacrifice 3 other non-land permanents. All right. So if we were to get something in the yard, we would be able to do some fun things. What's going down? Well, that does hurt because that doesn't go to our graveyard. So next turn's going to get kind of rough. All right. I think we got to go with this. Bobble doesn't work anymore. All right, Bobble in the yard. We'll take this guy, though, I guess. And hopefully we draw a land and we can get a few bodies out of it. I mean, it would be something. Ooh, Brood Spinner. Another one. I'm also debating now if... Oh, we haven't leveled this up yet, though. Alright. Guess it'll kind of have to be like that. That's tough. Yep, we're going to take 7. Oh, is there a rage there, too? Dang. Yeah, we're wrecked. We're cooked. Like, because now the whole plan has to change, right? Like, we could attack. I don't have enough to even crack the... I guess we could take 9, 10, 11, 12. And we don't have anything good in our yard to get back. That's our problem. Like, there's just nothing there. Didn't mill the right things here. Alright, I guess... 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'd go... Yeah, I guess this is the best we can do. Man. Yep. Getting 4 1/1s would have possibly kept us alive, but it's not great. Yeah. We're still bad off either way. Man, we got no big cards there. How much of the fantasy of Magic influences the color you play? 0, actually. I'm a weirdo. I can tell you literally, I don't know of a game where the lore has affected my decisions. Like, I literally... Here's a true story. I played Fable 2 for, like... I think it was almost 5 weeks before I even realized what the story was or whatever. I was just, like, renting houses and training my dog and doing all that other crazy stuff before I even realized, like, what the game actually was. So that's the type of person I am when I play games. Yeah. I mean, we'll try. Opponent? Bueller. Okay, there we go. They're there. That's like the first time the Bueller call actually worked. Normally we say it and then we just have to sit around. Like that time, the opponent actually had an action. That's hilarious. Alright, what did we get to surveil? Definitely want to keep the land. We have a kill spell. I guess we keep that. Because there's a chance we get to, like, Quag Feast something and still play a land, so that's fine. Oh, well, I mean, this doesn't kill that. It's creatures, planeswalkers, or vehicles. So that's not good for us. Sure, why not? Let's attack. I guess we're hoping they don't play temporary lockdown here. Dredger's Insight can go... Actually, I guess it doesn't matter. That land's going to go away either way, huh? Alright, well... Okay, that is not a lockdown, so that's some good news. Now it's just trying to figure out how we're going to navigate sweepers. Here you thought I loved green for the Druid action? Nope, it's just... I enjoy green cards, but... I'm not even worried too much about like what they represent or whatever. Take another Brood Spinner? That seems a little wasteful, but probably the correct thing to do. Take a land and be closer to casting Achik the hard way. I don't know why I feel like this is going to be... Yeah, let's take this. And we'll just put that in play. I mean, if there's a lockdown, there's a lockdown. We're getting wrecked anyway. Like, if they have it. Kind of hoping we can, like, force a sweeper. Yeah, all right. Then we play Achik, probably force another sweeper. I'll keep that since we're getting to surveil anyway. So when we do this, Grim Bobble's probably bad in this matchup, other than the surveil portion. All right. Then this might be Sunfall. Get 2 cards. Yep. Do. We'll keep that. And then crack this one. Go get Achik. Then we'll just get another sweeper. Because that's obviously what they're playing. It's just sweeper control. So yeah, if they have another sweeper, I'm just going to concede. Because this is boring for content. And these games take like 20 minutes and I can't use them for videos. That's why I tell people, like, I don't mind you playing control. I just, like, half the time I have to concede early because I just can't make videos out of it. Like, once we have one long game somewhere along the way, like, you can't have 2 because then, like, your 40-minute video is just 2 games against control, and it's kind of bad. Yep, there's a ley line. Not a surprise. Yep, she gone. Then we go attacking. Play another one, I guess. In the turn. If there are multiple variations for a card, like Shock, there are times I allow the flavor to select my things. I don't really allow the flavor to select it as much as just like the art that I like. I just choose that one. Alright, Day of Judgment. Sure. You got it, fam. Do. Yep. Play that. Play the Restless Cottage. Let's probably surveil. What do we get? Land and a Tender. Don't want those. I mean, I guess I could destroy an artifact. That's probably worth doing. Oh, it's not an artifact. It's or vehicle. Not an artifact. Alright. Do. You got it. Alright. I'm just going to move on. Like, even if we... I don't even think we're going to win it, but even if we were, it would take entirely too long. What about the 6/6 Golgari vehicle? Like, the one that drains opponents' life totals? Is that the one? Like, honestly, I don't even think I'd play that. I just would add some number of the Exile Artifact or Enchantment spell. That's probably all I'd really do. I don't think I'd change it. Because, like, the realistic thing is this deck actually needs either other big hits to reanimate or something else that cares about, like, pumping your stuff. Otherwise, you're just trying to get things out of the way. Like, there, if I just, like... I don't know, got rid of the ley line, then it's like, okay, Achik makes like 7 more dudes and I just attack. Yeah, we'll keep this. See what this turns into. Apparently not much is the answer. I guess we'll do it this way. I kind of want that, kind of don't, but we're going to get greedy here. Oh. Yeah, I guess we just take this. That wasn't a great turn. all that and really didn't go anywhere with it. That's kind of disappointing. And drew more land. That's tough. I'll keep one Quag Feast. I don't know if we're going to need removal in this matchup, so it doesn't look like a removal type deck, or a creature deck, that we need that. But can both of these stay? Nah, let's put one Brood Spinner in the yard. Okay, cool. We at least get to deal with that, so that's kind of nice. Oh, no. Both of the Quag Feasts went? Oh, bruh. That's just bad luck. Yeah, now whatever comes down sticks, and we can't do much about it. Yeah. Gosh dang it. Oh, they're targeting themselves? Oh, God. They don't even care about what we're doing. I was like, yeah, kid, you're cute. No attacks. Oh, I should have attacked. I forgot I had Death Touch. Gosh dang. I'm playing sloppy now. No, you kill the Swarm Weaver, opponent. Come on. What are we doing? Oh, they're going to sweep the board anyway, I guess. Because otherwise, there's no need to attack there. Alright. Everything's getting wiped out. We're losing Swarm Weaver, I guess. No. Spyglass Siren? What? What was that attack about, then? Did they just forget it had Death Touch, maybe? Like, what happened? No lie, y'all. I'm in a loss. I am confused about what just went down. Yeah. I guess. I'm gonna attack with just this. I just want to see what's happening right now. We can crack this at instant speed. What's going on, man? I'm like so confused. All right, sure. All right, that makes sense. Okay, maybe they're trying to attack over here with the 4/3 that get you draw cards with. Yeah, that's probably it. But our things have reach. We're going to go ahead and make more Duders here. Huh. I mean, kill Swarm Weaver. Like, have fun. We are not opposed to that. Alright, well, go attacking with all these little ones. Nope, they just die to the Swarm. Alright, well, I feel like we learned some things. Alright. You know what? This was one of those ones that's a little bit of good, a little bit of bad, actually. I think, given what we know, I would probably play another Quag Feast, and I would play 2 copies of the instant that you can pay the kicker, exile, target, artifact, or enchantment. I think that would help a lot. I like the idea of Scavenger's Talent, but we got it into play twice, I think, and it just wasn't quite good enough. So I'd rather replace that and just have something more aggressive to help us do what we do. Because there are some aggressive matchups that we're playing that against that it doesn't do quite enough, unfortunately. Because we do have to spend our mana every turn. So I think replacing those is probably the right way to go. And then the deck's probably, like, tons better with just switching 2 cards and adding 1. But yeah, it was neat. I mean, if you want to play insects, it's something. But yeah, we'll have the deck list if you want to check it out. It'll be over at Moxfield like always. And reminder, use our friends over at Tales of Adventure. Use code DRAGON, DRAGN. You'll save 5% on everything. And you'll be helping us support an editor, which would be great because y'all get more stuff and it'd be better stuff. And you can always just buy merch and support as well. Links below. But yeah, that's all I have you for now. We'll see you next time. All right, so that one got done. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to change in the final one. I think I'm going to cut the 2 Scavenger's Talents, and I'm just going to play 61 cards. A little bit of a risky 61, but we did go to 24 lands. And our stuff's pretty cheap for the most part. So I think if we do that, add a Quag Feast, I'll have to craft one. And then, I don't always forget the name of that thing. This, Terra Sunder. A couple of those. I think that helps quite a bit. And it's another pseudo removal card if we need it. So then that helps some of the matchups I think we were struggling in a little bit. It's interesting they made Quagfeast target creatures, planeswalkers, and vehicles. So, which is fine because it's a black card. It shouldn't easily get rid of artifacts. But kind of cool that it even says vehicle, not even like as a creature, because it's a sorcery. So if they want you to be able to kill vehicles, it has to say specifically. But it's a weird card, but it does put stuff in our graveyard that triggers the other stuff. I mean, I guess we could also play another Atchik if we want to squeeze one of those somewhere. Maybe cut like one Brood Spinner or some such. But overall, they kind of all did what they wanted to do. I think it's a little light on creatures if there's a real issue. But there's not really a lot of room to change much, right? Because you need all of this setup stuff. You need the Dredger's Insight. I mean, I guess we could cut like one Dredger's Insight, but you kind of need this to fill the yard, to hunt for stuff. It's like a pseudo search card, right? Molt Tender obviously helps our mana, but we can't get rid of it because we need more creatures. So even whatever we replaced it with would need to be another creature. So I don't know. It's tough, but if you want to play insects, hey, it's a thing. Insects do actually work. So kind of surprised, truthfully. Better than I thought it was going to be. Oh wait, I gotta craft the last thing in there before I finish that off. So yeah, that was kind of neat. Oh, you were saying earlier though, the 6/6 Golgari vehicle. Let's go. This thing. Drains your opponent for 3 when it comes into play. Like, I actually don't hate it. It's just one of those things that it doesn't do quite. Like, if it did something with the graveyard or whatever, then, like, maybe. This one's interesting. It's just super expensive. But when it enters, destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls with mana value 4 or less. If it just destroyed, like, a creature of any cost, maybe. It does destroy a permanent, which is nice, of 4 or less. But the problem is a lot of the stuff you want to get rid of might be, like, the room that makes the demon or whatever, right? Or you want to get rid of Leyline, or like this just doesn't do that, unfortunately. So that's the tough part there. I do think we should be incorporating more vehicles in a lot of lists, but I don't know if any particularly makes sense here. I mean, this one kind of does. Like, it's pseudo, let you get a creature back, mill 2. That's probably like the closest one. But yeah. Oh, yeah. If the 6/6 drained on attack, yeah, that would be sick. Even if it just drained for like 2 on attack instead of 3, I think it would be more likely to play it. I'd be more excited about it then. But just the one-time thing. I mean, admittedly, for 4 mana, you do get to drain your opponent and maybe have a 6/6 on defense, you know, but I don't know if that's enough to warrant it, unfortunately. And combine that with the fact of any of these you have to crew with 2 or 3, and we could be getting stuck with like Haywire Might, Molt Tender, maybe a token left over for something that we actually can't crew with anyway, right? So then that's the other problem. You have it, but then you can't do anything with it. So that also sucks. So yeah, I don't think you can play those. While I do think they're neat cards, I just don't think that's what we should probably be focusing on so much. But I think we'll probably put up insects, then the ooze deck will go up with the elves, and then probably the next couple of videos will be some combination of the artifacts deck, Rakdos Sacrifice, Delirium, and then maybe the Selesnya control thing would probably be. Oh no, we have another Golgari list too. Man, we've already put so many lists in here. I'm already forgetting what we're even capable of, what we have. There's so much stuff. So much stuff. Cool thing about the vehicles that you could crew it with insect tokens that still has summoning sickness. Oh, well, sure. You can do it with anything. The problem is you have to have multiples to do it. You generally want to play vehicles in a world where one thing you cast will likely be able to crew the vehicle. The reason being, like, let's say the opponent uses a Day of Judgment, right? And you have a vehicle left over. If the next thing I make is a Haywire Might, I can't crew the vehicle, right? But if I was playing more 2 or 3 powered things, then anything I top deck creature-wise can then crew the vehicle and still be a threat the next turn after the sweeper. So in a deck where we're trying to purposely play all the small things, vehicles lose a lot of their value. Whereas if you look at the list from the other day where we were playing all the vehicles and mounts, there's a bunch of stuff that's already 2 and 3 power before they even get bonuses or whatever. So almost everything is able to crew or saddle like on that turn when it comes into play, and that really changes how those decks play. Veteran Beast Rider is an amazing new Selesnya card. I feel like I'm about to disagree with you. Because those words feel like a card I looked at recently and was not happy. Yep, that's what I thought it was. This feels like it should be really good. But I don't think that it is. I think the problem really is that I always ask, like, what are we doing while untapping our creatures? Twitching Doll's too slow. I mean, in theory it works, but it's too slow. If you have a huge payoff, like you're playing, like, I don't know. I think we tried it one time. We were playing doubling seasons and stuff, so you're getting like 6 or 8 insects when it happened, like maybe. But otherwise, it's just super slow trying to get the counters. But yeah, what I was saying about this is that I don't know what we're doing with the creatures otherwise. Now, if we're playing a deck that happens to be like maybe just humans anyway, and you can find the room to squeeze it in, then it's not bad. But I would question, except for maybe against like goblins, so you can attack and can block. I'm not sure how many matchups this swings. You know, maybe some world we have a lot of first strikers, so then like it's bad for them to block, but then also like attacking you could double block and cause some chaos. Something like that. Elf into Beast Rider allows you to hold up a Veil effect. Like, sure, I don't disagree, but what deck is doing that? You know what I mean? Like, or is there something we're doing with a bunch of tap effects? Now, if we have that, then I really like Beast Rider, right? If we have a bunch of stuff that's tapping to, I don't know, something we're sinking all of our mana into, or putting a bunch of counters on stuff, or whatever the case may be, like, then I could be talked into this card. But I can tell you so far, every Selesnya list I build, this was not in it. Like, I don't even know what I still have up that we could show, but discard those changes. But examples, like here, having it doesn't do anything. Like, I don't have a single creature that taps to do anything. I mean, Tough Cookie activates, but doesn't tap. So, like, I mean, I guess we could salvage her twice. You know, like, that's a thing. But, like, it's kind of bad in this list. So, we wouldn't play it there. Obviously not in the control version. We don't want to play it in mounts. I mean, getting to untap the mounts is kind of cool, but you want to be playing more mounts and vehicles so you can just keep doing all the stuff and get the free attacks with Collet in, right? So it doesn't fit there. Slicing counters, maybe? Not really. No. None of these tap for their abilities either. This just lets you untap and just have access to blockers. I mean, the thing we can tap is actually Ozolith, but that's not going to cut it. I mean, it's kind of cool with saddling, I guess, sort of. Not really. Yeah. I mean, I guess Market Backwalker, right? Nope, because you just pay 4. Yeah. That's the problem. Like, it does a thing that... It's the same problem with the blue enchantment, right? That you to untap all your lands or whatever every turn. Let's see. Untap lands. Is that it? Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, it's this one. Unstoppable Plan, right? Kind of the same thing. Everybody looks at this and goes like, oh, man, we get to untap all of our non-land permanents, and, like, this is awesome. But then you always ask everybody, like, well, what are we doing? You know, it's like, I like the words, because I'm with you on both these cards, right? And I honestly believe those are the type of cards that if people figure out what to do with them, it's probably going to be great. But, like, for the Beast Rider or whatever, right? Like, maybe there's a world where, I don't know. I'm just, like, what are we doing? Oh, it's Beast Rider, not Beast Rider. I'm like, wait a minute. Why can I not find it? Like, if you were playing this, there like in a green-white elf type deck where maybe you're able to tap your elves for a ton of mana, and then you could give everything multiple triggers, so you get like +3 on a turn, maybe. Though I'm not sure how that's that much better than just playing like Overrun, or hell, probably a bunch of other things. Now that I'm thinking about it, like maybe that's not the best use anyway, even if we can. I mean, you could like reuse Elvish. What's the thing? The one that taps and makes an elf token. Like you could do that twice a turn, maybe. I'm trying to think of like other things we're playing that tap and do something useful that you could put with this. But you're also playing a 3-mana thing behind another 3-mana thing. So like I don't know. There's bound to be something, but I don't know if I would say it's like amazing, I think is the issue. I think Unstoppable Plan will probably wind up in a Paradox Engine builds. Like that's possible. I could see something like that. I just don't know if it's going to make a difference in Standard. I think it's going to be some cool stuff in Commander people might figure out to do with it. And, like you're saying, maybe older formats too. Or, like we were talking about yesterday, stuff like your Pyrewood Gear Hulk kind of sucks because it doesn't really have a home and it's outclassed on pretty much every axis by like a whole fistful of other cards. But in the future, maybe cards like the Beast Rider or the Pyrewood Gear Hulk or even Unstoppable Plan are plants for things to come. You know what I mean? Like maybe we end up with some creatures that a bunch of things that tap and make a token or something or whatever. Okay, now the Beast Rider is really good. Or, like I'm saying, maybe there's something that can generate mana or tap for an effect and you get to use that multiple times with your Unstoppable Plan. I don't know what would make the Gear Hulk good right now, but maybe that thing exists too. But I'm just saying, as new sets come out and the format changes, like maybe, right? So not everything has to be good in the set that it drops with. Sometimes cards get better later. And we've seen that for years, right? Sometimes cards get better way later, even after they leave Standard, because something new gets printed. And I do think there is a world where let me get out of this. Where with us having 6 sets a year, right? And Standard being 3 years long, it's kind of what I said in my crafting don't craft videos, which by the way, if you haven't watched those, you probably should. So far, I think everything we've said in those has actually held true, which is kind of wild because I wasn't thinking that was going to be a thing. Usually we miss at least a couple of those on either side, but so far it's been pretty solid. I try to preface a lot of stuff in those with things can change, right? I'm giving you the perspective of things literally today. Format will obviously take focus over the course of a month. Some cards that aren't even on anybody's radar that nobody even tried might pop up and be a thing. Hell, if you'd have asked me back when Thunder Junction came out, none of us were playing Collector's Cage. Like, we dabbled with it here or there, but like we didn't even really know what we could do with it, right? And then, 2 months ago? 3 months ago, I guess now? It's sometime in like early November, late October, so maybe 4 months, right? It started to become part of one of the top tier decks that people were playing in tournament play. So it's like, that card had existed for 4, 5, 6 months at that point. Actually longer than that, like 8 months almost. At least 7. But either way, half a year or more, right? It was in Standard, and nobody was really playing it. Even though cards existed where we could take advantage of it, and even cards we were using with it weren't like crazy surprising, but it's just over time, we learn cards, the format shifts, and we're just like, oh, now this is good. And I don't think that was on anybody, at least nobody that I know of, that wasn't on anybody's like good or bad, craft, don't craft, whatever list. It was just like, nobody's playing with it or trying with it. Nobody cares about it, so we're not even going to talk about it. And it turns out to be a staple of the format now. So you just never know. And maybe it just took the, Overlord of the Mistmoors being the card that people went, okay, if I can get this for free and get 2 tokens, well, now we're doing something, or get 3 creatures off of it or whatever. And then we got like March of the World Ooze and, we got other stuff. And now everybody knows how to play it. we're all going to be looking for like, ooh, what's the next card we could use with this, right? Every set, right? Like, what's the cool thing we could get for free? What's the biggest play we could get with it? But in the beginning, nobody cared about it. So kind of the same thing like the cards we were just talking about. You know, the Unstoppable Plan, the Beast Rider, the Gear Hulk. Could all be cards that we change our mind on maybe 6 months from now, right? It may not even be in 3 months when we get Tarkir, right? It might take all the way till the end of the summer when we're playing with, I don't know, Final Fantasy cards by then or whatever. And maybe something in that set makes one of those cards great. I don't think we're going to know immediately. But I think that's also the problem. Why I always tell people, be careful with taking everything as the gospel, you know, when any of us say, this is good, this is bad, whatever. I'm always, and you notice I try to be very careful with my words in those videos. Of like, hey, here's why I think this. Or here's why I think you shouldn't do this. Because even if you disagree with me, I at least want you to have all the information I still have, right? We saw it in these lists. We saw this. Played against it 4 or 5 times, never lost to it, whatever the case is. So you're at least working from the same information, right? And then you can make your educated decision regardless. And it's okay if you disagree with me in those videos. I think that's totally fine. But at least give you that extra pile of information that you haven't. But I think it's very easy for people to say, oh, well, you should do this, or this card's the best card in the set, or this thing. And I think people get too hung up on that. Like, what's tier 1? What's the best card? What's the worst card? Don't get me wrong, it's fun to talk about. Don't get me wrong, it makes for great content, and people love to watch that stuff. But at the end of the day, we have to be very careful because we're all working from extremely limited information. And I think that's the thing we don't talk about enough. Hey, Drift Ronin. Because all of that is all stuff, like literally, I mean, we're now at the end of basically week 2, or coming up to the end of week 2, of the set being in our hands to play with. We don't know everything. Hell, there's tons of cards in the set we've not even really explored yet. I mean, this is the first deck we've played with Achik, right? I don't know how many people have even had Achik on stream. What else do we have in here? This has Bright Glass, which everybody's played with that, so I don't think that's surprising. We're actually dabbling with these weird legendary things. I'm assuming these have a purpose because they made them in every color. So, you know, they're just generic, low cost, some big body or something in each of the colors. Like, it's weird that they exist, but they probably have a purpose, right? And nobody's really explored those yet. We've played March of the World Dudes, but I think everybody knows that's actually a real card now. Like, it looks really chunky, but it turns out that's a real card. And that's a card nobody was talking about initially, right? When it got previewed, I kind of jokingly went, you know, this could be kind of big. I'm not going to dismiss it. It's hard to cast, but whatever. But then the first couple of decks we put it in, we're like, oh man, this thing's baller. You know what I mean? Like, so like that's how quick an opinion changes on a card. Even by the time we got to do the craft, don't craft video, I think I had it on the like, hey, craft it if you want to play it. This card's good, right? But that might be on somebody else's like trash list. So it's hard, man. That's why I try to be very careful. I try not to be the one that tries to oversell you on anything or undersell you on something. I just try to make sure you have more of the information, because to me that makes the most sense. And I think just you having more information allows you to be better, build better decks. I think that's just better for everybody. Instead of me having to be the hot takes thing, except for when I do the actual hot takes video, which I'll have one of those again soon. But yeah, Brandon says, I've noticed there are many, I'll say, above rate instead of amazing 3-mana multicolor cards in the set. Most of them are uncommon. Fair. I think there's a lot of cards that are underplayed or undiscovered right now. Not even just from this set, from the last couple of sets. And this is going to sound kind of crazy, but like, we should probably be giving R&D more credit, considering that they're making a ton of cards every year. And they're still making cards that do things so different than other stuff we have, right? Like, we all look and go, that's why I always tell people, we have to be careful not to go, oh, this is the new whatever. Because ultimately, like, the cost is usually slightly different. The environment it's played is different. The things it interacts with are going to be different, right? So you can't play them the same way, and they function very differently. But with that, we also end up in a spot, again, with something like Collector Cage, where it's easy to look at and go, oh, well, this card's kind of silly. It just puts counters on stuff. Occasionally I'll get a free thing, whatever. But then as it turns out, it's like, oh no, this card's actually really good. It was like low key great, but we kind of dismissed it because other cards we've seen in the past, they either have hideaway or put +1/+1 counters on it, have been all right, but not exceptional a lot of the time, right? But now we got one that is exceptional, and everybody goes like, oh, wait, hold on. And now in the future, we're probably all going to be looking at hideaway cards and silly stuff, right? Now that it's been put on our radar. A funny thing, like the correlation to me, and let me go ahead and switch cameras for this since we're having just a chat for the moment. But one of the funny things for me is for those of you that weren't around, you probably don't know this, but there was a card called Curse Scroll. If you know what it is, it's from Tempest. It's a cheap artifact. It comes into play. You can pay through or two and tap it, and then you randomize the cards in your hand. You name a card. If your opponent picks that card, they take 2 damage, right? Really cool card, but people genuinely looked at that card and said, this card sucks. Because at the time, Magic, to be good or have a good deck, you basically had to play card efficiency, card economy, gain life, draw cards. You know, you're playing creatures that have multiple abilities, whatever, right? That's how Magic was. But that card comes along, and then people started experimenting. Well, what if I play a version of aggro or red or whatever that just taps out every turn? And then I'm down to 1 or 2 cards, and now using Curse Scroll, it's guaranteed damage every turn. And when that came around, it was like, it blew people's mind how good the card was, right? It sounded crazy that, like, I want to play Magic where I empty my hand. Like, that's totally not been Magic to that point. So even something that simple, whereas if it came out today, we would all be like, oh yeah, obviously this is a good card, right? But back then, it was such a shift in Magic that, like, even then we were making the same mistake of going, well, this card sucks. It doesn't do anything. You have to have, even then thinking about it like, well, if I have 3 or 4 cards in hand, how often is my opponent going to pick the right card? Turns out you can often activate it when you have 1 or 2 cards in hand and your opponent hits it almost all the time, right? But it just shifts the way we play. And I think that's what happens a lot of times as we get these new cards and these new sets. We're very quick to dismiss stuff or celebrate a thing before we've really even put it to the test and tried it. And one of the funny things that I think is also happening is that as we get these extra sets in standard and standards move to being 3 years, we have more undiscovered stuff, right? Because people are only dabbling with the set heavily for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and they kind of settle in on their deck, and then they don't look at other cards again, right? They kind of stick with what they got, they refine it, and then, 4 to 6 weeks later, whatever, we have a new set, and we're kind of focusing on that. And I think that's good in a way. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of cards is tough to keep up with sometimes, and we're not dismissing any of that. But from the idea of we now are in a standard where we're constantly discovering things. Like, y'all watch me play. Like, how many times have I been like, my opponent could play anything here. They've got 6 or 7 mana, they got cards in hand, they've got this. I'm like guessing all the different cards they could play. And like, that's a good thing, right? Because all the games don't look the same. And people are trying new ideas and different cards. Even the black decks, while there are a lot of them, they don't all look the same, right? Some are worried about playing demons. Some are trying to drain half your life. Some are discard decks. Some are, right? Because we have all these cards to mess around with. And that's actually a good thing. I'd rather be in a world where there's more undiscovered stuff floating around. Hell, even when I play Commander with people, I know all the cards, and periodically somebody will play something, and I'll be like, oh man, that's still a Magic card. Totally forgot about that. That's cool. I think it's actually a good thing, which is kind of crazy. Ajayla says, that's true. I mean, everyone kind of dismisses vehicles for sure. Yeah, and I think vehicles do have some real value. I mean, we have vehicles that have haste. We have vehicles that allow you to discard stuff because they come back out of the graveyard. We've got vehicles that put counters on things that drain your opponent, that fly, that, like remove stuff from creatures from play, right? Those are all basically spells that can turn into creatures. Or maybe you can look at them like enchantments that can turn into creatures. So we shouldn't be dismissing those. Those are all real abilities. And sometimes we would play those abilities on other creatures or enchantments if they existed. Just now we have one that doesn't just automatically die to all the sweepers people are playing, right? So I think there's definitely some room to still explore quite a few of those vehicles for sure. But yeah, we're at the 3-hour point on what was going to be an impromptu stream. So that's a little bit unexpected, but hey, had a good time with y'all. I really did, actually. We played some fun decks today. I don't think I'm going to stream tomorrow. I'm probably just going to work on a couple of videos and enjoy my evening. But we may be back on Sunday. Like, y'all are getting a lot of streams now. This is like, what is it, our 4th or 5th stream in the last week? We're going to stream again, if not on Sunday, on Monday. Maybe back to back. And then we might get one more in on Tuesday. And then you probably won't see me on stream again until the following Tuesday because I'll start prepping because I'm going to be in Chicago. So if you want to come hang out in Chicago, play some games of Commander, get some tokens signed or whatever, we'll be there for that. Not sure what all plans are going to be. I do have a meet and greet session, I believe, on Friday afternoon or evening. So if you want to come by that area, we will be doing that. And yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, y'all know the drill. Wherever you're watching or listening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Please take care of yourselves and your family because the world is a mess right now, especially if you live in the U.S. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Remember to be awesome. Most importantly, and I mean this genuinely, be awesome to each other.